Hello, everybody, and welcome to this Division 3 Grand Finals between Quantify Force and Gracelight Ruby. Oh my god, these teams have gone through hell and back to get here. If you watched last week and how intense that best of 5 was between Quantify Force and 50-50, you know that the current champions, undefeated in this series so far, Quantify Force, they have struggled to get here, and we'll be talking about that all of it with hopefully not another 5.5 hour stream as we had last time. We got the water prepared, we got the chat on here, phone fully charged, so we can see everyone in chat, say hello. But I have to introduce my lovely, should be casters, but we will be, for some reason, okay, there we go. We will be getting, as I was saying, we will be getting another caster in. Hopefully it's going to be either Motor Joe or Daddy Cliff, but they aren't able to make it right now. So you've just got me and one of my favorite humans. We already have a fan in chat. That is Schmid, being our color caster for this evening. Schmid, how are you doing?
Hey, yeah, pretty well. I'm pretty hyped for this. I was waiting. I was like, do I come in now? When do I come into this introduction? I'm like, wow, this is like the longest hype I've ever had. But yeah, nice man. So yeah, no, really looking forward to this. I'll admit I've probably not been quite as following the Valence League as intensely Division 3, but I have casted a Quantify Force game. I think it was against I can't remember. It was the team where they've got two teams, you know what I mean?
Frostbite.
Bad, but they're Frostbite, yeah. And that should have been a landslide. In Quantify Force, they showed that they were mortal and they were losing some simple team fights there. So yeah, it's interesting for me as someone who's seen that game, or that series, which was probably about almost a month ago, maybe if not more, and see how far they've come. Are they still doing those simple mistakes? Have they cleaned things up? It sounds like from that craziness last week that maybe there's still some things to go. But yeah, hyped for this and glad to have you alongside. So well done, kudos. I think we need a shout out for you for streaming and casting, the man with many talents, spinning lots of plates.
Thank you. And just while we're on the little shout out, I know we're going to be getting into all this soon, but also if you see in the bottom right corner, shout out for Zan for really helping me with the production of this. I don't know if you know, Schmid, but our website that we use for VL absolutely crashed on us. And we can no longer use it because they had to make us pay for the API. And so when we had to come with making a replacement, just so we can do these fun things for you all, Zan was very helpful. Hi, Steketch, lovely to see you, Marathon, and Kwakanuchu, and Hitsuis, lovely to see you as well. But yeah, Quantify Force, when you said that you'd watched a Quantify Force game, I know they would have won, because they have not dropped a series, Schmid. Styler, Big Boy Stevo, Cassandra, Z-Red-X, Deadly Fish, these players need no introduction, Schmid, and arguably, I've been talking to people, they are the bookies' favourites here, Schmid. What you got to say about them?
Yeah, I mean, the results speak for themselves, don't they? So it's always that, I'm a football guy as well, and I do find this form book and things like that very similar in that, Quantify Force, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. So, they've got all this way undefeated, and, if this could be the one where they finally slip up, it could be a full Fnatic or something like that. So, Gracelight Ruby, obviously, kudos to them, they've got here as well. So, there's a reason they've got here. But yeah, and, in terms of the meta as well, we'll obviously be talking more about picks to look out for. But yeah, I think this is a really pivotal point, and Division 3, and this really makes or breaks who wins this, who goes on to bigger and better things, or who has to kind of go back to the drawing board for next season and reevaluate things.
Steve-O in chat saying you messed up the graphic. You don't, do you? You don't play Jarvan. Should we just look at the match history last time and see your bloody
No, it's more. It's actually a personality. It's just actually to resemble who you are. It's not actually the champion you play. Yeah.
Would you like? I can go through your whole. I can go through your whole Chample Steve-O on stream and the exact picks you can go if that's what you want. Who's this Tristana Cringer Cassandra? Well, it's you, Cassandra, and also Shadowhopper, because Gracelight's mid laner of Shadowhopper has also been playing a lot of the Tristana mid lane, these AD mid lanes, been so powerful. Yeah. Gracelight with Goth Baddies in the top lane, Power Fruit, Shadowhopper, and then that incredible bot lane, which we will talk about in a little bit, of Incisor and Stronger, and I mean, they have that 89.1% Schmid. That one game that they lost was to Quantify Force over 2 months ago. So they're looking for revenge here, Schmid.
Yeah, for sure. Like you said, just the one loss that I looked up as well. So, and it is, of course, against today's opponent. So, technically, apart from that, they're unbeaten. So, they're probably the ones that, sometimes when you've lost that game, that you look at that and then you look at the mistakes. It's easier to learn from your mistakes, isn't it, than when everything's going well and you win every game and you're like, well, just carry on doing the same thing. You don't really see where your slip ups are. So Gracelight have probably shored that up, and obviously blitzed every other game. So just looking here as well, the kind of something like a Samira pick is make or break, really, that do or die. So I love those ADCs who are the ones that you've got to put yourself on the line to really make the game. So, something like a Caitlyn is just, not as enjoyable for me. I'm a jungler main myself, so, I'm all about getting stuck in. So good to see that Incisor for Gracelight is one of those ADCs, alongside potentially a Rakan, who's a really good champion at the moment, really strong. So, I'm looking forward. I'm always a bit of an underdog supporter, so, interesting to see how this goes. I mean, what kind of... what's your prediction? You think Quantify Force, they're going to stick as favourites?
I know a lot of people have been... I know we got a lot of people watching going for Quantify as well. They had such a tough series last time, Schmid. I can't believe I'm going to say this. I think... I had my prediction as 3-1 Gracelight, okay? But I'm just thinking...
Damn.
But... I really...
Who are you, G2? What are you doing?
But I don't know, Quantify could really... I, by the way, predicted that series to the letter, by the way. Just a couple of shout-outs. Hello to Sean Houston, by the way. Lovely to see you. Sarah in chat as well is always nice and egregious as well. So I'm actually very conflicted. But we know we're getting close to 6, so if it's okay, Schmid, I want to talk about another factor of this game. That has caught me by surprise. I got messaged it. And it is a wager between the two teams. A bet. And this is the wager. So, Deadlyfish and Incisor. Deadlyfish is the Quantify support. And Incisor is the ADC of Gracelight. Now, if Gracelight Ruby's bot lane has a higher gold lead at 17 minutes across the series, then Deadlyfish has to change his name to Fish Out of Water.
Okay, and not too bad.
If Quantify Force's bot lane have a higher gold lead over the series at 17 minutes, Incisor must change his name to Insecure.
I like that.
I know which one I prefer. Well, prefer not to be, but
the worst one, the more enjoyable one. Yeah, that'd be Fish Out of Water is just like a standard, really. But maybe there's an in joke there, obviously. But Insecure kind of says it all. So I know if I had that as my summoner name, it'd probably rinse me out to dry. But nice little extra incentive there as well. But maybe we can have a little vote in the chat as well. Everyone's kind of a bit hype at the moment, so maybe a little those good old hashtags, probably hashtag QF and hashtag GL as well. So spam away, you guys, and see who we're going to go. But I think I'm going for a 3-2 Gracelight. It's got to be a 5-game series, surely, with all this hype.
Oh yeah, and hopefully we'll be able to, if someone, I think it's Ice Arrow or Cliff, if they can maybe get a bet going, who's going to win the series. We had that for the last one, and my god, it was so close. So many points being chucked at it. We got some Gracelight fans actually coming in right now, although Forks, the Quantify owner, naturally supporting his own team. But, yeah, just quickly, maybe, oh, hang on. Should we go into... Yeah, just quickly, before we might just get straight into the first game. We can talk about drafts and stuff a little later. What are your predictions, Schmid?
Yeah, so we had a kind of little chat off stream, didn't we, of picks and likely ones. So, one that I managed to pick out was, the Shyvana for Quantify Forces Jungler. So myself, again, this is kind of where my stronger expertise is in the jungle and how the meta of the jungle has changed. There's over this course of the season, I think is good to look at how kind of, initially this season that invading was hindered and it was, discouraged by Riot. And then they kind of saw that it wasn't doing that great, so they kind of brought it back a bit, and it feels so much better balanced wise. But of course, this is still very much a team fight meta as well. So, we're going to be looking at junglers who are just sustain utility. So, you've got the Maokais, the Sejuanis, those kind of champs that float around as well. So I wouldn't be surprised, even though we got the Shyvana as a potential pick there, that we're going to go more sustain, more safe picks to begin, because both teams probably going to be nervy. Like I said, Quantify Force, not losing a single game means when will you lose your next one sort of thing. So there's that nervousness there maybe, but as seen there that linked up the Tristana, favored by both teams here in the mid lane, can be in the bot lane, but that mid Tristana pick back in the day used to be the AP Trist, and slightly changed now, but nonetheless very threatening indeed. And then my last pick as well that I highlighted was the Rakan, which we both managed to pick out here. Like I said, already mentioned that Rakan is just a great variety of the engage, the peel, and the tankiness as well later on in the game. So really versatile champion at the moment, and links well with someone like Samira to jump in, jump out. So interesting champion pools both sides. I think it's a pretty healthy meta at the moment.
Yeah, and as we have, because I'll just like showing them to some of the people in the game. Want to say hi to chat as well, give them some interaction. I just wanted to what was it that I wanted to ask? I had something really important that I really needed to. Yes, you're on stream, Shadowhopper. Yes, you are on stream. But as we're a little bit sort of late to go in, we'll just be sort of waiting for everyone here. Oh yes, that was it. Are you in the game?
Oh no, I'm not yet. Yeah, that's what I was just about.
Right.
To say.
Yeah. That's quite important.
That is pivotal. Yeah.
Right.
I was going to say all the option is what's your stream on.
What's your league name?
My Mad Space Wood.
Okay, I will. You know what? I'll just.
Because I'm actually, now the truth's out, I'm a Mad Lions fan, so there we go.
There you go.
It synergizes with the chaos that I was hoping for, so that's what Mad Lions are all about. But unfortunately, they've not been a roaring success this season, but there you go.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
One move to spectate, please. And we'll get Madwood in. But could you get Yamamoto? We got there eventually.
Right. Try that one more time.
Yeah.
Not Yamato. No, don't worry. Yeah, Yamato's not here. Yeah.
No, it's Yamamoto. Samurai, could you give any tips for an Ahri player if Neri is picked against him? I literally just played this. Because I was playing a game with Zeko, and the advice is to dodge and go next because it's a dumb champion. Don't do it. Don't do it. So yeah.
Don't do it.
Do not do it.
Don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it. But it looks like, well, you're in the lobby, and it looks like all the other players.
We just bring one back because we're literally full to the brim. So we've got coaches and all that spectating. So it's a full stadium, virtual stadium tonight. But yeah, I mean, you've I spoke about my picks, and you put in a Nautilus there, who's been pretty prevalent as well. What was your thinking there?
Yeah, so with this, when I think of Nautilus, first of all, it's something that both Stronger and Deadly Fish play. But whenever I've seen Incisors Samira, by the way, the reason I have Samira like saved and I like, for all these champions, I have to like crop them and then put them into space. The only reason I have Samira is because of Incisor. And I have seen this man get pentakills, whether that be Quantify Tournament Cup, whether that's VL. This man pops off whenever he plays. Even in that game 2 months ago, when it was a completely different Gracelight roster but it was still Shadow Hopper, Incisor, and Stronger. Incisor's Samira still gave this bot lane a run for the money, having like a really good KDA as well. So I just think that Nautilus, that Engage, and so the Xayah Rakan, I know that's both of the thing, both of like the two champions. For me, it's more of the Xayah, because when I look at Quantify's draft, when I look at the drafts we've seen in general over Div 3, it has been very, oh god, we're starting. It's been very Engage focused, and I found Xayah particularly helpful in that disengage Schmid and just being able to reliably get off and get that damage off. But we are now going into the first game draft here in VL Grand Final, and Quantify have selected red side, and the Lilia and Darius band out here, Schmid.
Yeah, interesting first bands. Depends what interesting to see what different teams prioritize. So obviously Quantify Force fearing that Darius, that top lane carry maybe, and then you can see, we talked about the jungle of Quantify Force. It was the Shyvana we talked about, but of course now Gracelight looking at the Kayn and the Lilia, and that's the Samira gone as well. So maybe we highlighted a bit too much. So maybe we should have been talking about like the lesser picked champions to kind of not give that away. But in the end, we're not going to see that Samira play with a nice little Braum and Draven to finish us off.
Yeah, so that's a lot of respect given over to Big Boy Stevo and also to Incisor. Incisor's Draven and Samira, they just love to run over the lane. And the Jarvan picked up, so that will go into the hands of Power Fruit, and denying it against Big Boy Stevo still has that Shyvana up. So we'll see how this B1 gets answered, but I love the respect. These are bans, maybe except from the Darius that get taken away from Goth Baddies, that would be expected, and just not wanting to have any spanners in the work here, Schmid, in game one.
Yeah, exactly. Just go for your jungle pick. Jarvan, is strong against anything. There's no one really who counters him hugely. So easy one to take first. And Kai'Sa, probably should have mentioned that as a pick because she is just unstoppable at the moment. Mid lane, bot lane is just absolutely ripping the meta up right now. So Quantify Force, locking that in first pick is a really solid one. So both teams knowing exactly what they want to go for this time, and the support coming up. Maybe a jungle as well. Rel jungle has been pretty prominent as well, which is good to see. So yeah, interesting. It's kind of a flex pick now, weirdly, the Rel. But yeah.
Yeah, usually I think this Kai'Sa probably going to go in the hands of Deadly Fish just because he can pilot it so well. Usually I see Big Boy Steve on just some other champs, but the Kai'Sa, really lovely to pick up. What that allows is that could allow Cassandra to go that Tristana and still have that AP with Kai'Sa, can really easily build it with things like the AP, I keep forgetting, Static Shiv, the bane of my existence.
Yeah, it's so strong.
That Qiyana could get locked in. Power Fruit, I believe, plays it jungle. So does Shadow Hopper, to be honest. But that Rakan, it's a pick we've talked about. It's going to be so contested. And with the Rel picked up, saying Deadly Fish does not want it, Stronger is going to pick that up into the Rel matchup.
Yeah, it's a nice response. Obviously, the Rel is all about engage with that killer instinct, and now a Wukong just to top off that Wombo combo. Misfortune, with that lack of mobility, is going to really need her team to hype up around her to really support her there, and Rakan is the perfect champion to be able to do that. You got, like, you did have the Nautilus, but he just doesn't provide that kind of ADC peel, you know. He can lock enemies down, but in terms of helping his own support, you know, Rakan can offer that shield, offer that bit of healing, just that bit extra, I think, and that's what separates Rakan over Nautilus as we're into the second ban phase here.
Oh yeah, and you know, Jarvan Misfortune is a combo old as time, as we see some mid lane bans, some top lane, a lot of respect given over to Goth baddies with that Gwen pick. Maybe, you know, if you want to blind pick a top laner here on R4, you know, something safe for the likes of Styler, who wasn't able to play last time. Okay, that's not something safe, but probably...
Yeah, no, it's the opposite of safe. Vayne is safe but spelled backwards, I think. But, it's funny you mentioned, because Misfortune Jarvan, I mean, that is beauty in the beast, isn't it? Like you said, because it is the pick as old as time. And the setup there. It's a shame the Kiana wasn't taken there, because the Kiana ult synergizes really well with the Jarvan one. You know, you can lock people up around it. But yeah, instead of the Vayne, gone for that top lane instead, and the Ornhorn just really shores that up. I mean, if it wasn't all on the Kai'Sa before, then it is really now. So, you know, it's team fight meta, but it's also bot lane meta as well, and this is really showing where the Misfortune is the damage. The Camille can shore things up. But yeah, so we've kind of got the mid lane left for Gracelight, and the mid lane for Quantify as well, really. So interesting to see where these ones can really tip the balance either way, I think.
Yeah, Davey just went like, woo, go Gracelight, and then Fox just says, shut the fuck up, Davey. But nice. Yeah, I was expecting this in the top lane. Styler, usually one of those tank players. I could have actually seen the Malphite come out, was another idea, but it's going to be Goth baddies who usually plays these carries. It's why you've seen the Gwen ban. You know, he's going to be wanting to try and get an advantage, and Styler's just going to want to keep it away. The Lissandra also, I think it's a great blind pick, Shadow Hopper. We've seen him play it before. But the Nico in response, that's going to go towards the mid lane. I haven't seen this in an odd minute, but we know how that passive could be so frustrating. It has seen enough since those days, but still a good wave clearer. Still very good in those team fights. And Schmidt, this is engage, this is team fight and pick and explosiveness all up and down the board here for these two teams.
Yeah, there ain't no Kassadins, there's no Nasus just playing farming simulator this game. It is going to be going for the juggler in this first game, and yeah, I mean, it can't really not be explosive with these kind of champions involved. So the Nico changes, really nice, and not been utilized as much, maybe. I don't think her power is as strong as people think, maybe. I think, you know, it's more a flashy champ. You know, initially when she got changed was really strong, but she's been pegged back a bit. So she's at a good point, and you know, like I said, that utility, even just the utility of Nico it's basically a stronger Amumu ultimate now. You know, it holds everyone in place around her and does that insane magic damage. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see. And these ultimates are basically the really pivotal moments here. You know, does the Wukong knock up the Misfortune? Does the Nico get in behind? Does the Jarvan get the ult onto the Kai'Sa? Because Kai'Sa can actually ult away with the Killer Instinct obviously out of that. So, you know, can the Camille lock down the Kai'Sa? You know, these are really the pivotal abilities. You know, normally you just think that, you know, it's kind of just positioning and things, but it really is all about this macro play, this timing of your ability. When are you going to ult? When are you going to stand back, sort of thing? Because once these champions are in, once the Camille's in, once the Lissandra's in, there's no turning back. Either they're dead or they win the team fight. When the Wukong's in, he's dead or we win the team fight. There is no half and half with these teams. So yeah, it's going to be do or die, which is great to see. But I think overall on composition, even though I'm kind of rooting for the underdog Gracelight here, I think Quantify have really got picked some solid champions here that all really synergize very well.
See, that's the thing I want to pick up on, Schmidt, is that both of these team compositions are really just solid, like you said. I think there's a lot more pick potential on the side of Gracelight Ruby. Sorry, not Gracelight. Yes, it is Gracelight Ruby.
Yeah, it's Ruby.
I casted the sister team Gracelight Violet, and I got them mixed up with Gracelight Ruby. So
not Gracelight Barbie, no.
No. I so need to go see that, but no tangents. Talk about draft. Right.
My bad.
The thing I want to talk about here is there's nothing too... This doesn't really say anything. There's not exactly big game plans here coming out. There's not some, like, you know, oh, we played Nasus jungle like we saw in Div 2, that sort of really wild pick come out. Oh, no, I think that was in Quantify Cup. But this just demonstrates a little thing. Just maybe the dynamics of the series going forward. Goth Baddies is going to try and break and crack this top lane defense from Styler. I think these bot lanes, they're going to look for a lot of CC. They're going to fight a lot and try and just break that down. Really try and get that gold lead. Remember that 17-minute gold lead, that bet that we have in Sizer or Deadly Fish, their names, literally their names on the line, as one of them will have to change it. I will try and remember, by the way, if you could remind me in chat, excuse me, when 17 minutes comes up.
Yeah, I'll try and keep tabs of that as well. So
thank you.
We'll be working together. That's what we do with the co-casters that co-create and our mates.
Absolutely. And just a little note to hell yeah. Just a little note to chat. We will be getting a TriCaster in. You may know him. You may love you may love him, depending on if you are on good terms with the mod team. But his name is Daddy Cliff, and he is going to be our third caster, hopefully when he's able to come back from work. And he's going to help us, and maybe help us save some of our voices here, Schmid. Oh no, have I... Hello? Oh, this is not good. Okay.
Hello? Oh, sorry, my mic went really weird there. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
We're all good.
I'm at 10 seconds, by the way.
Okay, 10 seconds. That's good. There's always going to be some. Okay, yeah, I'm at 10.
Awesome. All right. So for the first game, it's going to be 3, 2, 1... Go! And we're off for the first game of this grand final season. You can all see, Big Boy Stevo, he can't even tell me to change the scene because he's in the game, Schmid. He can't remind me. This is going to be a disaster for production.
Or if he is reminding you, then clearly he's not going to win the game. So that'd be his problem. But yeah, you can see everyone's sticking to their duties, just nothing too crazy. We've seen some, I mean, you've probably seen more fun level 1 invades this split compared to me. But, you know, even the few games I've casted for Valance League this year, that I've already seen some interesting attempts there. But yeah, nothing mad here. Everyone staying safe for now until the big fireworks later on in the game. Yeah, and I mean, certainly from the side of Quantify, you certainly understand why. You've probably got the scaling here. The Ornn items coming through from level 14 and beyond really gonna help this Kai'Sa when she can scale a lot more. You could argue there's a lack of damage, but I don't think there's too strong a tanks on the side of Gracelight, and besides Kai'Sa by herself, you could put her with 4 meatheads and Kai'Sa will still deal the damage you need. Going for that Hail of Blades, Schmid, really wanting all of the damage she can in those early lane trades. Yeah, exactly. And like you said, I think, yeah, Nico, Kai'Sa, that's really where your damage output is. So, you know, both AP output, like quite AP heavy. Obviously, Kai'Sa is mixed a bit. So the Jarvan, for instance, you know, he can quite easily build magic resist over armor, because if he builds armor, he's, you know, that's just against the Wukong, I'd say. So, you know, quite easy, I think, for Camille and Jarvan, actually, to build against those two. So we'll see how that pans out. But yeah, like you said, I think there's enough damage on both teams to really do enough. I mean, even enough damage in Kai'Sa to do enough, like you said. So yeah, so far, nothing too precarious. But yeah, I think there's a lot of scalability there for Quantify.
Yeah, I was just watching this bot side just to make sure that level 2 was a bit scary. Shadowhopper taking quite a bit of damage in those trades. As let's look towards this jungle as wow, a lot of trades going the way of Cassandra. It's going to be very important how this mid prio can be used to swing that pressure towards these early Rift Heralds and Dragons. But talk to me about these jungle paths. I know, Schmid, you are a jungler. Enjoy it yourself. Wukong pathing towards the bot side and Jarvan towards top side. What do you make of that?
Yeah, it makes sense. The Wukong, obviously, has got to try and be prioritizing his bot lane because he knows that his lane in the bot side are going to be pushing in. The Rakan can do a bit, but he's not got his tanky stats yet. So you can just see an Ornn there missing the knockup, but maybe an engage here.
Yeah, Shadow Hopper trying to get a good trade, but he doesn't know. The big boy Stevo here is flashed away from Shadow Hopper, but it will be a smash of the thing he holds, his staff.
The staff.
Wow, yeah, nice. What a start to game one. We might have another 5 hours of this. Yeah, well done, it's first blood.
Yeah, it was nice, and it's all about subtlety as well, you know, not being obvious. That it looked like that Cassandra, I might add that Cassandra facing Lysandra, so that's not going to cause any headaches. But, you know, kind of not being obvious about the jungler being there as well, and big boy Stevo coming in, being able to finish the job. Did have to burn his flash, but it was flash for flash at least, so it is a nice start for Cassandra to be able to get that kind of assist at least. Didn't sadly get the kill, so I think he's going to need another gank because this Lysandra can lock her down very quickly. But yeah, like I was saying, the Wukong has certainly got to be around the bot side because the Rel, Kai'Sa, I think are going to be pretty strong, certainly pushing the lane in. Misfortune has better early damage, but she doesn't really push lanes very well compared to the Kai'Sa. So that's why this lane is where it is, and that's why the Wukong will be hanging around the bot side. The Jarvan, it's a bit trickier for him to kind of where to prioritize. He can obviously go bot lane, but like I said, the Wukong is going to be there, so it's hard for him to kind of really do much about that. So he's going to try and have to maybe go in that mid lane, I reckon. But you see the vision here on the engage
Stevo's
as well.
coming in as well. They're trying to go into Z Red X, but Stevo has found the timing, and Power Fruit will not be able to get there for now. They are able to get out with the flash and with the exhaust. Deadly Fish might have gone a bit too far there. Power Fruit coming in using the flash, but Deadly Fish will have to get away. Flash used. Big boy Stevo trying to get the damage down. Stronger coming in, but he will get ignited as he runs away. That is the clone of Big boy Stevo, as the real one is here. Styler coming in, but it is not Styler, it is Nico. Jarvan getting 1 kill already, as now he will be the one getting damage. Stronger going in, but he might go down, and he does, but here comes Lysandra. They are so low right now, and Shadow Hopper can clean them all up. It's one dead, and Sizer gets one, as Shadow Hopper looking to go, but Stevo's clone goes down, as well as the monkey himself, and now Cassandra, the only one left. The bullet time will fall, but Power Fruit will be able to kick up the kill. He actually gets executed by a minion as a result of that. A 4-man fiesta in the bot lane, Schmid, and it goes to Gracelight.
Dear Lord, that was mad. I mean, that was actually 5 in the end because we were only 1 kill to 0, weren't we? So that was 4 kills to 1 in favor of Gracelight Ruby, and it did look like that suddenly there was just the Gracelight Ruby were going to lose that fight really badly. And Quantify, it was going to be the beginning of the end once they got those kills. But kudos to Shadow Hopper, and kudos, to Power Fruit. Despite not having a flash, he wasn't afraid, knew his champion's limits, and was able to contribute. And obviously that armor reduction is so pivotal early on Jarvan with that power. And in the end, we've got a kill across the board basically for every important champion, that is, for Gracelight Ruby. I'm not playing down support here, but obviously the damage champions is where you need it, and Jarvan's got 2.
Going in, Cassandra using it. That auto will secure it, and it's a solo kill. Using just the advantages she got from Stevo and just picking up a clean kill, Schmid.
Yeah, the Pop Blossom just coming out. I mean, it's such a shame because Shadow Hopper was giving such credit to, react quicker, and that's ultimately what won that team fight. But sadly, just giving away that kill quite needlessly, and that means that Cassandra is actually probably in a stronger position now in that mid lane, pushing in the minions. But Cloud Drake is up as well now, so again, this focus is going to be in this bot side, nothing happening in the top at all. But we'll see. Both junglers are there now, and see if anything comes of this at the moment.
Yeah, and just to go back to that fight before we have a little bit of a lull, Big Boy Stevo not going from that dragon. The thing that decided it is that while Power Fruit, he wasn't able to get off that good gank earlier that Big Boy Stevo had, he was able to farm up. He had 28 CS, had cleared his full, both sides of his jungle and a Scuttle Crab, and he backed. He was able to get a pickaxe, allowing him to do so much damage. A lot of damage done in that top side, but the big story is this first early Drake going to Power Fruit, who has not only 100% kill participation. Oh, we see Styler trying to initiate a little bit of a 1v1. You know, Big Boy Stevo, he's going to be lured top by those very low blinking red health bars. And you see him on his way now. It is the dragon, though, that is picked up for the side of Gracelight Ruby.
Yeah, nice quick pick up here, and a bit of a misfire on there, but Cacklin can't miss.
Yeah, and that is just an easy lockup. That is how you play the game when you are a pick comp. You press R, and Shadow Hopper gets his revenge, trying to come back into this. Still 100% from Power Fruit, really taking initiative here, Schmidt, in this early game.
Yeah, Power Fruit. I mean, even the farm difference, let alone the kill contribution difference. I mean, 5 kills. 100% kill participation, and that is exactly what you want on your jungler. Got the first dragon as well. Rift Herald is still up, so hopefully we do actually see that be taken, because director's camera always hates Shelly for some reason, but maybe a little engage here.
Oh, yeah, as Incisor just getting a little bit of damage down. But, sorry, my girlfriend's just come back. We're just having a little bit of a chat. She's had a long day at work. But these boys here, they've got a long day of work to go left. If this is work, I would, that people do this for a living. So I'm going to say,
Yeah. Well, I think the better phrase is probably tough day at the office at the moment. Because, Quantify Force, not really quite got into it. The Kai'Sa, just the 1 assist to her name, whereas Incisor has got the kill, got the 3 assists. And, Hauser got things like the recurve bow, so just that little extra attack speed does go a long way in League of Legends. And the Camille here really just chunking away at a big rock at the moment, not really going to be doing much. But
directed camera is going to want us to see it anyway.
Oh no, it's gone. Rickard's gone. I didn't even know it'd gone.
Yeah, I know, because he just loves top lane so much. Styler, just the camera loves him. Yes, the Rift Herald did go to Big Boy Stevo. And look, I mean, it's an interesting conundrum. Where do you put this? Because when we look at the gold, you see himself down about 700 gold. And just the rest of the gold lead is just very spread out over the map. 400 gold here, 300 here. So you have a chance here as Big Boy Stevo to really accelerate a lane and put some important jungle resources into a lane you're choosing. Where would you put it here, Schmidt?
Yeah, it's a tough one. Like I said, I mean, the Wukong, you can see again, he's just hanging around the bot side. He's not really looking to, you're not going to get your Ornn ahead. I mean, that's not really, it might suppress the Camille, but it's not, your Ornn's not going to be the one to make or break the game. He's going to get tanky no matter what, whether he gets kills or not. So he's happy to just stick it out and not die to the Camille. So you've got to really bring this bot lane back into balance, because at the moment, the Misfortune is going to do so much damage. That charm comes in from the Rakan, and that is the biggest bullet time damage you'll ever see, because it's just going to take all members of Quantify Force down. The Kai'Sa does have Cleanse, which was a good choice as well. But yeah, everyone's got their ultimates up again. All the flashes are up, so it's really all sizing up for another big team fight here. Drake is not for another minute and a half, so there aren't actually that many objectives, so it is sadly a bit of a stale point, but everyone's ready with their guns holstered, their ultimates holstered, and you can see the Jarvan there sneaking in the back.
Yeah, a lot of vision being put down on that mid lane for the side of Gracelight Ruby. You're really trying to get control in the area. This Wukong really quite blind. Oh, it was a lovely little duke by the Nico, but here is the Wukong. The actual Wukong, as Cassandra was disguised as the Wukong. I am an idiot.
Was pretty...
Sorry.
Go on, sorry.
Yeah, I was just, I hate Nico. I hate what she does.
Yeah, I was just thinking that's actually a really good spot, because instead of trying to hide the jungler, we've got two.
Oh, yeah, Styler's going in. 2 fights right now. Scuff Buddies is going to try and find the auto, but he can't get it. And now in the bot side, there is double TP coming in. Zero X will almost fall, and yes, he will. The Hot Blossom comes down and lands onto Lysandra. Lysandra will go down. The Kai'Sa gone down. Stronger and Incisor will try and run for their lives. Another auto will do it, and Incisor is able to take it. Oh, the EQ combo cancelled very well by the side of Deadly Fish, using that stun. Another kill to boot. Wow. A triple kill for the Wukong, and Quantify Force snatched the game back, and that's Rift Herald popped. And that gold lead we were talking about before, decimated for the side of Gracelight Ruby.
Yeah, complete switcheroo, and it was a cross-map ace as well. You know, clearly that's how good your team can be in synergy. When your top laner takes down the enemy top laner in line with your bot lane gank as well, your Wukong gets that triple kill. And like I said, it was all gearing up, all the ultimates burned, everything was popped, flashes, not a single flash left on the side of Quantify Force, just the one on the Lissandra for Gracelight Ruby. So, you know, we're back to kind of, you know, reduced resources here. So really was all out, and unfortunately, Gracelight Ruby just really couldn't handle that team fight. They just weren't sure where their target was. Insider went in, tried to trade a bit onto the Kai'Sa, but unfortunately got followed up, and it was a really good engage from Deadly Fish actually as well. So, but more action possibly there. It's going to be okay for now. But yeah, I think this has been kudos to Deadly Fish, and of course, big boy Stevo. He's really done well with the calls. And what I was trying to say before was actually Cassandra, instead of trying to hide the jungler, they just used the Nico to try and dissuade where the jungler is. So, you know, camoing as the Wukong meant that it was a false sense of security for Gracelight Ruby, but maybe another fight here.
Yeah, look at the resources they've committed. TP coming in from the Ornn, as it's a fight now. Stronger trying to get away with the ultimate. Shadowhopper caught by the Magnetic Storm. Ultimate coming out from the Misfortune, won't find much too far. Power Fruit goes in and does knock him onto 3. Bottom up Blossom used defensively from the Nico, as now it's a fight. It's a 4v5 right now, but it's low health bars. One more taken down. It's 3 members, and Zeronex goes in. He's trying to find the 2 members left go in. Stronger tries to go over the wall. This fight is done. Gracelight Ruby are routed. And you thought a 12-minute ace was good. How about a back-to-back ace for the side of Quantify Force, looking to take game 1 in a dominant fashion?
Oh man, I mean, like, if the floodgates weren't open before, they are now. I mean, there's the floodgates at the front and at the back of the dam that have both absolutely washed away Gracelight Ruby, because it was just a bit of confusion, I think, from Gracelight Ruby. They started the Drake, and they did actually get it in the end, but, you know, really good credit to Quantify Force, and this is what shows a team that knows how to win, because you don't just charge in, you just play it back to front, and that is exactly what they did. There was a bit of just lack of clarity. Power Fruit, like you said, when you came in on the Cataclysm, it looked really good, but he was just by himself, and Styler was holding back the rest of the team, almost like kind of American football style, you know, just blocking the rest of the team while the jungler was taken down. And then the Kai'Sa came in, got her first kill of the game. But yeah, so just really well coordinated, I think, from Quantify Force there. And Gracelight Ruby, unfortunately, they did get that early lead, but now 4K difference. They're just not really lacking, they just really are lacking the target focus at the moment.
Ooh, Magnetic Storm will go wide, trying to interrupt the dash away from Shadowhopper. As they're looking to take this second Rift Herald, will secure it with 4 members already up here. So nice pickup, looking to get a bit more damage down onto these towers, see if they can get another snowball going, but it is 16 minutes into the game. We're coming up to 17 minutes. I'm so disappointed in you, chat, for not reminding me. But
no. I was going to at 17 minutes.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, no, that's completely fine.
You peaked too soon.
Yeah, look, I'm aware, right? But look, Schmidt, we got broad brush strokes here. We have got a 4K gold deficit for Gracelight Ruby in this first game. You know, you probably don't have the scaling here as well. You're going up against an Ornn, only going to get stronger. There's not a lot of magic damage, and Goth baddies on this carry in this Camille, not going to be able to shred Ornn as you would usually see, going 0 and 2 in lane to Styler, who has played this so well, getting solo kills and just playing the lane well. How do you come back here as Gracelight is all going in?
Yeah.
Make sure, chat, to look at the gold right now, because that gold will not be coming anytime soon. As yep, that is the case. Someone note it down, please. Record it. It's about 6K each way. Oh god, he's going in. He's going to try and turn this lane around right here. Styler going to try and go away. Does he have the E, the hook shot? Yes, but he goes wide. That is a little bit of a misplay. Maybe, you know, the sweaty hands already, you know, Nerves already playing a factor here as Cassandra, the Rift Herald, is popped by the Wukong, just trying to get as much pressure down as possible. We'll shadow that play. Power Fruit also ominously over on this mid lane. Will not find anything, although Wukong's coming up. This could be actually quite bad here. Will he use the W, and here he comes. Cyclone use, lands onto 2. Inside's has to flash away. Power Fruit lands a nice knock-up onto 2. Magnetic Storm will not save Z-Directs. As one goes down already, Insider is going to tick. And the Ignite plus Big Boy Stevo will take him down. Stronger is almost about to go as well. But a lovely EQ by Power Fruit will take 2. Deadly Fish trying to look for more. But overall, it is a 1 for 2. Still not going the way here. Oh, sorry, no, it's a 1 for 1.
1 for 1, yeah.
Yes. Go, so even Stevens here, which I don't know who that favors here, Schmid.
Yeah, I think, it did look like the Wukong was almost going to get another kill, but he was the one that took down the Misfortune, so it's another notch on the belt of the carrying Wukong at the moment. He is where the damage and the strength is at the moment, because weirdly, ironically, contrary, I'm just going to go up with more words, contrary to Kai'Sa's usual strength, she's actually struggling here at the moment. So Zayed is only just 1 and 3. So, being taken down by the Jarvan isn't really going to change much. But certainly, I think the takedown of the Misfortune, who she couldn't get another kill potentially, and the kill going over to the Wukong is certainly more pivotal for Quantify Force to cement that strength that they've got at the moment, and the engages might continue.
Yeah, a little bit of damage onto Deadly Fish, but Incisor has no support. No. He's going to try and run, but that's not where you want to be as an ADC. Just completely caught out, and Shadow Hopper might fall as well. Oh, it's a disaster. It is a crumble in this first game as the dragon stacking that Gracelight Ruby was setting up will now no longer come to fruition. They're looking to start off this dragon, and it is just going bad to worse here. 5,000 gold Lear Schmidt. Tell me something positive here for Gracelight Ruby, because I can't find it.
Yeah, it's unfortunately it's a slippery slope, and this is what happens is, you lose one fight, but there you go. Right on screen, there you go. Prepared earlier for you.
There you go. Yeah, there's an advantage. Stronger pops the ultimate just to, get some camera time, I suppose, because I don't even think he was expecting that kind of damage, but that 2 members are going to have to back here for Gracelight Ruby. That gives you a little bit of space and time on this top side around this Baron that has just spawned here. But deciding not to go for it, just looking to farm their own jungle. But I think because you've got a Kai'Sa, 2 items already with that static shiv and the magic item of Nash's Tooth. No, I didn't have to hover over it. You saw nothing, chat. I know all the items. Shut up. Because you have so much as I was saying, because you have so much consistent damage with Kai'Sa, Wukong as well, just at the power that he'll have, will be able to shred down Baron pretty quickly. There's any time from now is a point where if you don't have vision on this Baron for Gracelight Ruby, then that could be a time where, well, Quantify could start it. So they're going to have to be careful in this macro sense here, Schmid.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about the crucial decisions now as well. Like you said, the Baron is up, so, jungler dying means that you've got a Kai'Sa who can easily melt it. I think it'd be quite tough for Gracelight Ruby to take down the Baron quick enough. So it's, at the moment, you've got to look at it like that as both teams who can really take down the Baron. So Gracelight Ruby have got to be so careful they do not give them that opportunity, because that will put the final nail in the coffin for this game. It seems pretty unlikely at the moment, but okay, just tapping away with your little dagger at Tanky Yorn's not really going to do that much, but it's worth a little knock on the back.
He's got to pad the stats.
Yeah, exactly, yeah, get those damage stats up. But it's interesting because, I think we've started talking about that Misfortune ultimate who, is now going to be insecure. But, there's not really someone who can... the Nico's really the only one that you'd focus that ultimate on, because you've already seen the Kai'Sa can jump out that ultimate pretty quickly with the Killer Instinct, can jump out the Cataclysm. Wukong's going to be in your face anyway, so really you've just got kind of the Nico, maybe the Wukong target, because the 2 tanks, you're not going to try and take down with that. So it's a bit unfortunate how it's panned out here, because with Misfortune, you've kind of got to try and get ahead at these moments, because if you're not ahead like you are now, it's so much harder to try and take down the enemy team. So, this Camille is probably the salvation at the moment, that, that side lane split, because the Ornn clearly can't match her. So once that first outer top turret is gone.
Cyclone use! Big Boy Steve are trying to use Pop Blossom as well. TP coming in, and Stronger just does not have the health. And Incisor is just cannot get into these fights. Godlike for Big Bo Stevo, assassinating Incisor once again. Power Fruit gonna have to run here as the Ornhorn does slow him up. Will use the Dragon Flag, Flag and Drag. There we go. But that is a member down, a very important one for the damage. And you know what that means, Schmid? That means Baron and Quantify are starting off.
Yeah, exactly. It's the exact right call to go. Take one member down, especially the ADC, who unfortunately tried to go for the bullet time but was interrupted early, so no damage output there, and a simple Baron going over to Quantify Force, and it could be the beginning of the end now, really.
Yeah, maybe a bit too far up here as Cassandra will find Shadow Hopper, goes into the Glacial Prism and tries to buy enough time with the Zhonyas, but it will cost him his life there. Another kill going over to Quantify. They have the Baron. They're taking their reset with a 6,000, wow, my maths, 6,000 gold lead. And just to add insult to injury, Styler has now hit level 14. So those Ornn items going across, this first one going towards who we probably knew it was going towards, the carry, the CWL manager himself, Big Boy Stevo. And yeah, he has no surprises there. He's been playing like a madman.
Yeah, really just a crazy monkey, quite literally. So, you know, really good on those engages and not afraid. So it's quite easy when you're ahead that far as a jungler to go the kind of more squishy items. You know, he could have gone the Triforce to really highlight that damage, but he's not got carried away with it. He's gone, you know, the Black Cleaver and the Divine Thunderer just to keep that sustained, because he's doing enough damage with those items, so he doesn't need to risk himself. But it might be a quick kill here.
Yeah, Styler just trying to look to end it right here. Goth Baddies will use the E, will be able to get out as we see another Ocean Dragon going towards the side of Quantify Force. It is an Ocean Soul. However, with those two dragons that Gracelight Ruby were able to take in the early game, it will not mean a soul or a soul point right now, so they have got time in that sense. But in terms of the time of the item and the damage ranges that these teams have, it's probably going to only go from bad to worse here, Schmid.
Yeah, it's really tough to try and find an engage as well. Like, the Ornn is in the top. He is just a tanky giant now. He's surpassed any potential of being taken down. He's got so much armor. Really, only the Lysandra is the potential damage. So this is why I just wasn't that keen on the Gracelight's composition, because you've got AP on a Lysandra who's kind of a tanky mage naturally. You know, she's about that bird. She's not a burst damage mage. So, you know, the Ornn is going to be fine. He's not worried at all, and now they're pushing in for these turrets. Yeah,
it's nothing you can do right now. You've not got the range. You've not got easy tools to be able to fend off sieges here for the side of Gracelight, and so you just got to try and let this come to you. Maybe even popping a Misfortune ultimate. However, Quantify are not pushing too far right now, trying to use the range of the Cannon minions, knowing that they don't have a lot of range themselves, but it will be that wave at least dealt for now. As you know, we've had such a story here, Schmid. 9 teams in Division 3 started almost 3 months ago. Then 3 were unfortunately had to leave us, as never mind, Goth Baddies is going to interrupt that. Ultimate's coming down everywhere. Magnetic Storm is able to fight a Lotus. So will the Ultimate, as always, might actually be going forwards. No, it is not going towards the side of Gracelight. It's a rout for Gracelight. Quantify Force. It was a good try, but Big Boy Stevo, he gets a quadra kill, as if the triple kill was not enough. TP coming in, and they might try to end here.
Yeah, no, I mean, might try. It is game over. It's game, set, and match, my friend, because that just really summed up this entire game. I was really buzzed because it looked like Gale Force, fucking Gracelight, God, had that team fight really executed well. And do you know what all you needed? A brilliant bullet time. And unfortunately, Misfortune wasn't there to follow up. So yeah, it was just unfortunate there that it was a bit misfortunate, I suppose, that didn't pan out. So yeah, I mean, 10k gold ahead. It's really Quantify's game to lose now, and I mean, where do you go from here? There's one turret been taken down by Gracelight Ruby, so you've just got to really focus your attention on those 2 lanes. Farm up a bit as well, because the Wukong, he's got a lot of damage. He's 13-1, and if you do hit those later levels, you know, someone like the Lysandra and the Camille obviously just gets stronger and stronger by the levels, so she scales so well. So it's just too much wombo, I think, on Quantify Force. I mean, I'm really clutching at straws. I'm clutching at the thin material underneath the straw that no one can really see, because it's a bit in the realms of impossibility at the moment now.
Yeah.
Baron is about to come up as well in a minute. Another Drake in another minute and a half. So, you know, it's kind of Quantify. They've just got to, you know, do what they've been doing, push the lanes in, apply the pressure, and they've just got too much damage to outdo Gracelight Ruby.
Yeah, and you know, honestly, if I was Gracelight Ruby, I'd be saying, hey, we've lost this first game. It's completely fine to say that. You're in a best of 5. You have got a lot of time to think about, hey, what went wrong? Was it execution? Was it draft? Do, you know, this B1 Jarvan that we were able to come out with, you know, was that really, you know, did that really deny Big Boy Steve-O, you know, the tools? You know, because he seemed to really carry on this Wukong, and we saw the Lilia and Kayn ban come out before. So, you know, is this, you know, maybe just a redrafting? But, you know, is Qualify going to be just be able to wrap this one up? And yeah, I think in this position, you just got to sort out your mental, Schmid, and just think about those next games to come, because it's not over until that Nexus explodes on a 3rd win for either team.
Yeah, exactly. They've got the Baron here, but you know what? Credit to Gracelight Ruby. You know, at this point, quite you know, low elo teams would just be hanging around their base, waiting for farm to come in. But you know, Shadow Hopper trying to push the lanes, trying to get some turrets down, and that is where you get your bounties as this next Drake is up. So you know, Quantify Force back to the mid lane, put that pressure in, get the Drake, and rinse and repeat basically. So this is where it could really make or break. Get that ultimate, get the Cataclysm, get that bullet time, and it could be your saving grace back into this game.
Using the bullet time right now just to try and clear the wave. It won't even clear all the wave. Big Boy Steve-O actually getting locked up, which is quite nice. Baddies dueling the top laner in the 1, but Z-Red-X actually will be killed already. Oh. But here comes the Pop Blossom combo. Z-Red-X dives in. Stronger gets taken down, and Baddies will fall as well. It's the ending we all saw coming. It is Quantify Force, the quadra kill for Z-Red-X, as Force take the first game.
Very well done. Yeah, I mean, just it was once that first team fight kind of panned out where they got the ace over Gracelight Ruby, it was really the beginning of the end, like I said, and there was no turning back because they were just so well coordinated, like a well-oiled machine, that there was no. It's the panic that can set in sometimes. I mean, 20,000 damage on the Wukong. Says it all. Kudos though to Baddies on the side of Gracelight Ruby. 18k damage, obviously was just chunking an Ornn, so you're going to be doing a lot of damage, and tried to hang on. But yeah, I think this Misfortune pick really fell apart, unfortunately, because that's where their damage was relying, and Misfortune is just an ultimate champion. You know, the damage on her non-ultimate abilities is just not there. So, you know, once you've burned your ult, it's quite difficult to really you know, take hold of the game as well. So if you're not hitting those, then you're not really doing that much damage. So you know, doing only as much damage as the Jarvan. And yeah, it was a shame because Gracelight Ruby started well, and then it just the coordination just didn't quite go. So there's just got to be a better focus. You know, go back to basics sometimes. Go for one target, front to back. Well, yeah, I mean front to back, and you know, just really change it up. And I don't think the Wukong's bannable as well. I think it's just Big Boy Steve-O just managed to capitalize as the jungler himself to be out of these situations. So, you know, banning Wukong is not going to change that much. But yeah, game 1 over to Quantify Force, and it was a bit of a landslide. So, you know, hopefully it's not all that way for the rest of the games.
Yeah, and look, you know, if you think, oh, well, that's it wrapped up, we have seen Quantify Force win 2 games. We're like, okay, it might have been close, it might have been dominant, but Quantify Force win those 2 games. And then what happened last week? 50-50 cracked the Quantify Force code. They took 2 games on the bounce, and it could have been over then and there if Force weren't able to bring that one back. So, it is not over until it's over. I will invite you, Schmid. Do not worry, my friend.
I'm already there. Don't you worry.
Oh, hell yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby. That's what I've been waiting for. Sorry. There we go. We have the chat poll. Chat polls come out. So if you want to bet, that's all in there.
Game 1's still going, I think. But someone's got to... resolve it, I think.
Hang on. Wait, if you want points, bet.
Quick, put bets in now.
Oh no, they've already won. Okay, never mind. Sorry.
Ended.
Yeah, didn't see it. Okay.
On to the next one.
On to the next one.
I definitely got to top up my throat, so I'm gonna grab some water if that's all right, and then I will dash back very soon.
Yeah, no worries. Take a little break as I wanna talk to chat for a little bit. Because also, hello chat, we can just chat in general, but just wanted to give a little shout out just to all the teams that have played, making Div 3 so well. We started off with 9 teams almost 3 months ago. 3 of them unfortunately had to leave us, and if I can remember off the top of my head, that was Limelight Avalon, that was Outlaw Cowboys, and a Blaze Academy. Very good. Hello, Sean. Sorry, did I not say hi to you before? Hello, Sean. Lovely to see you. And they were unfortunately knocked out. We had 6 teams. 2 of them went through, and 6 teams went through. 2 of them actually being Division 4 teams that applied. We weren't able to get that together, and them making it through. Real shout out to Quantify Nova. You guys played just amazingly. Making it through on that final couple of games was an awesome run to see, as well as Frostbite Mayhem. And but we have our top 2 seeds from that group. I can actually just pull that up for you now, just a little bit of a history. That was the group stage from before, if you want to have a look at it. It was amazing to be a part of. And here we are, down to 2, 3 months of work. 3 months of tickets and line submissions and trying to get casters together, and all the stuff and all the scrims and all the drama and all the happiness. It has all come to this. 2 teams at the top of their game. One of them will be going straight for Division 2, and we'll see if that comes up. But yeah, we shall see. I was a little disappointed with Incisor if we reminisce on that first game. I really don't think Misfortune is the pick. Not because necessarily it was the team comp, although I wasn't a big fan of the damage output to begin with. I really think I need to see Incisor. They really have banned this out. A lot of champions against them, but I think something like Isaiah paired up with that Rakam would have really made that comp work compared to that. Compared to that one. Oh, thank you, Mr. Diabetic. Nova, the only team to have a perfect game. That was true. That was against Frostbite Mayhem. Honestly, Frostbite are getting absolutely... they're having a rough recollection here, talking about the Mystics game and Mayhem as well. Alas. We love to see... They did play really well. It's Mystics' second season. And it is Mayhem's first, and I think they made a good play. Steve-O in the game says Matt Satter better than Int Scissor. No, I think we need to let him cook. Well, if you want Steve-O, if you think Int Scissor is so bad, well maybe don't ban out his Samira then. Okay, is that a deal? If you want to say Matt Satter is better, he is lovely. Shout outs to Matt. But if you think that's the case, then let Incisa play that Samira. See if we're chatting then. Also, as Quantify won that first game, we also saw that bot lane gold differential. Don't know exactly what the gold lead was. I actually saw a big support gold differential. I hope someone has saved it, or we can at least look back at it from before. But regardless, Yeah, it is Deadly Fish going a little bit ahead, and it is Incisor who might become Insecure because he will have to change his name to Insecure at the end of this. Don't be toxic, says Luke. I agree indeed. But yeah, it's been an amazing thing to be a part of. I'm going to be taking a little break because I've got to focus on my uni stuff. I'll still be obviously a staff member and still be trying to do my little contributes where I can, but I've got uni coming up, so I'll be doing all of that. And honestly, it'll be so lovely to have a break. But I hope you've enjoyed my my casting. Schmidt, are you there?
Oh, hello. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. If you're still taking a break, then that's completely fine. I can keep talking.
You can keep talking forever.
I can. I very much can.
No, I literally just got back here as well. So
yeah. Hell yeah.
So back to game 2. I think I kind of overheard you a bit talk about the Misfortune pick, and I think I've seen in the chat as well that she was actually on the lethal tempo that game, and that probably contributed to the lack of damage there, which is fair enough. But I mean, I think even with that, with the right runes, it would have been a bit of a struggle. So yeah, there's got to be a bit of a rethink from Gracelight Ruby.
Yeah, and just seeing if we can get Cliff in here. I know all of chat loves Cliff. Do you have any updates on him, Schmidt?
I don't know. I'm not sure myself, sadly. So yeah, I know that Moto Joe isn't going to be joining us and got some other commitments, which is fine. So, we're going to hold the fort, and I think we did one other cast together, didn't we? So
we have.
Yeah. I know, and that was a bit of a crazy one.
It was a crazy one. But I just want to, say to the, oh my God, to the 50 people watching to the stream, thank you so much for that. It's amazing. I almost saw it tick up to 60 before, so thank you so much to everyone just for being here. To the 50 of you watching, if you like what you see, if you want to be like, hey, I want to be casted. I want to be casted by some of these high-level casters. And by supporting a league that has been going for so long, has a great mod checking and making sure no smurfs, making sure really tight knit and really just one of the most professional and well just put together teams I've seen. It's lovely to be a part of them. If you want to be part of this league, to play, to cast, hop into the Valve League Discord. If someone could link it, or yeah, because hell no, I'm on my phone right now, so I'm not going to do that for that. But yes, it is a lovely time. Samurai, current MVP of VL content. Thank you very much, Shenzhen. And well done, by the way, for your final, Shenzhen. It's a really tough finals, but you did very well. I know Frostbite are also doing their own tryouts. I actually just got a message here. People trying out for Gladiators, people trying out for Mystics, and all the other teams. I know White Rose and Quantify and Cowboys. So many good teams that are all trying. So it's nice to see a vibrant off-season, Schmidt.
Yeah, interesting. Where it kind of goes as well, so how things change up. And I've kind of dipped in and out before with Dance League, but I should be around quite a fair bit for the next split as well. So I've just kind of got up my own setup properly sorted, which hasn't been for a good year or so. And that's why I kind of been in and out. But I heard you're gonna step back a bit as well. So yeah, things change is inevitable, as they say. Even in Valence League, but yeah. Sorry,
I just wanted to just give a little bit of information. It will be because Gracelight Ruby, they lost the first game, they got side selection, and nothing is going to change here, Schmidt. It is still going to be blue side here for the side of Gracelight Ruby. So, what do you think of that one as we're about to get into the second game?
Yeah, I mean, blue side's always been the one to favour, hasn't it? That people tend to have a better win rate on the blue side. So yeah, it'd be interesting. They do get first pick, so whether the Kaiser, for instance, I think actually despite not having as great a stats and kills as the Wukong, I think that is still a pivotal pick either side. So I think actually the play here is for Gracelight Ruby to take the Kai'Sa, but obviously whether they've now heard my insight that Quantify Force, whether they're going to ban it or not, or take, they can't take it, so they've either got to ban it or expect to give it over to Gracelight Ruby because it is such a strong, viable pick, and I think the AD AP balance was not great for Gracelight Ruby. Lissandra with the AP, like I said, I saw why it was the lockdown for that MF ult, but once that falls apart, then you've got no backup. Whereas Quantify Force, even without the Wukong, leading the line, you had the Nico, you had the Kai'Sa to shore things up. So the Wukong ban has come out here, and it was, quite strong in terms of that, that camo and coming out. But I think, you can deal with the Wukong quite simply. So yeah, be interesting to see how the picks change up here. But you can see that most champs are pretty similar. But the Jarvan actually going to be banned. Clearly not going to be going for it this time. So don't want Quantify on that champ either there.
Yeah, so what they've given up here, just a little bit of a change. They've left the Braum open, and they've also left the Lilia open, changing that for the Jarvan, and pretty much same bans here from Quantify. Obviously, don't, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The Kai'Sa picked up here for Incisor, so making sure that high damage hybrid carry on the ADC, who's looking to get revenge for that game one. The Xayah that I wanted is going to be coming back, and it's going to be going in the hands here, Schmid, of ZRedX.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Kai'Sa was taken away, and they didn't ban it, so Gracelight Ruby would be like, I'll have what they're having, and take a really strong meta ADC. And of course, that does mean, though, that the Lilia was not banned like it was last time, so taken straight away for Quantify Force. Be interesting to see how that pans out. I don't really rate Lilia at the moment as well, whether she's jungler, whether she's in a lane at the moment. I could be proved wrong, obviously, but in my experience, there are just other better junglers at the moment, and good to see like a more safe, sustained pick with the Sejuani there for the jungler. So, in terms of style and mixing things up and combining here, you want to see quite a strong mid lane pick. They probably won't get it yet. They'll probably go for a sustained top laner, just to be safe. A top laner that's not really going to be countered easily. All the support, of course, to supply the Kai'Sa there, and the Rakan makes sense.
Yeah, just making sure that the Lovers duo will not use their combined power to take Quantify Force to a second victory. As much as I understand,
Tower of Love.
The Tower of Love, it is unclimbable. It is too strong. But even though, you might not think Lily is great in the current meta, Lilia has been known to be sort of a soft counter to Sejuani, really has that ability to prance around, deal a lot of magic damage, magic health percent damage that can really tick down a Sejuani if you can't lock her up. I remember seeing it paired with a Karma mid lane that went Ardent Sensor, and it was unkillable. I think it was Iron Endeavor actually who ran that Lilia. But we're into second phase, and Goth Baddies, we know this top dynamic. We're switching towards these solo lanes here, Schmid. Goth Baddie's going to look to crack this top lane defense as he failed the last time.
Yeah, exactly. He's still got the top laner to pick, so he's going to have to think about who he can go for. Some really quick bans here, no messing about. The Trundle was taken away last time, which is interesting to ban the Trundle when the jungle's already been taken, because Trundle top is okay, but maybe, maybe Goth Baddies is a Trundle top. I haven't actually seen myself how much he plays that, but yeah, the Gwen's a good one to take away for sure. She's can be strong. You can see kind of the Camille, the Gwen, very similar ones, and the anti-save champion being hovered here, of course. But yeah, sorry, I was just going to say that you've got mid lane picks and the top lane. So yeah, Nico taken in, worked pretty well last time, did the job. And now the good thing is for Gracelight is they can see what they can match against the Nico, where they had to pick first before the Nico, I think, last time.
Yeah, ZRedX just hovering that vein, just goading Incisor. Maybe next game be like, go on, pick it. I want to see it. I'm not going to let you play that Samira or Draven. I want to see something you pop it off with. And Kai'Sa certainly can do that, as we see the Olaf being the blind pick. I actually like this here. I think Styler can really get a matchup that he would prefer. And Nico, I mean, if you're going to run Lysandra into that, or we'll see what Shadowhopper has, you know, that Nico looked really strong. It seemed like Shadowhopper didn't have an answer to this.
There was. I think there were just some silly mistakes. Like you saw that Lysandra was caught out quite easily last time. So the Ari is a really good response, I think. It's at the moment it's all about mobility, really. You can see, can't you, that you've got the Kai'Sa, the Rakan, the Sejuani, the Ari, all have got a dash, some kind of dash or mobility ability, as it were. So last pick here for Quantify Force is their top laner, and that's going to be matched against the Olaf, which, tanky champion makes sense here because you've got enough damage. So just an all-out tanky Scion. It's going to be really strong because, in the team fights, the passive is going to come through. And, even if the Kai'Sa, who's really good at taking down tanks, does take down that Scion, he's still going to be dishing out some damage. So, like I said, again, it's about the ultimates. The Lilia, can she hit the 5-man ultimate? Can she hit her abilities? And, the long-range E as well is quite pivotal to get that initial slow. And, how will the Sejuani fare against that, like you said? Because you've got the two squishy champs in terms of Nico and Lilia, and the Nautilus and the Scion, just the two tanky frontliners this time. So I think there's more exposure. I think feeling more comfortable about Gracelight's composition here.
Yeah, Sejuani will have a lot of people to be able to work with that E passive, that Olaf Rakan. We'll be able to stack that up, could maybe get a really good strong 2v2 duo. However, both Olafs and Sejuani, they can really get kited by a good Lilia. And I'm not going to put it past Big Boy Stevo to be a good Lilia. That is not something I doubt his abilities in. So It'll be interesting. That 0-second selection of Ari for Shadowhopper, I really suggests to me that Shadowhopper might be looking to play a little bit safer here. Looking just something with good wave clear, high utility, can have a lot of dashes, just really, you can be impactful in many ways with Ari. You have a lot of build diversity, you have a lot of different styles of playing. But we'll see, if this can really work out. But I've seen Gracelight win many series before, both Ruby and Violet, and to all the Violet, Ruby, Force, and Nova teams. They have very much put on a very good display and representation of their orgs, and one of them is going to be taking it all the way here in this final, Smid.
Yeah, I mean, Gracelight, unfortunately, they kind of buckled under the pressure in the first game, didn't they? That they got that first good, kind of maybe fortunate team fight, and then Quantify Forces just rigid, effective team play really shone through in the end. And it's better to see that the champions are more succinct and better synergy here. So I think Gracelight Ruby going to try and go on the front foot here. You've got to try and just get in there early because it's, League of Legends is about who can react quicker, who can fire your abilities better, but there's such a strong mentality in this game. And, if the first blood goes over to Quantify Force, it's just going to feel like a huge uphill battle again for Gracelight Ruby. But if they get the first blood, there's going to be a huge rush of motivation and push and positive drive to try and take this second game and level the series. So I think Quantify Force, again, it's their game to lose, if you know what I mean, in terms of that mentality. They're the ones that need to make sure they don't get complacent and just carry on what they were doing last game.
Yeah, as the bets have gone through, a lot of you putting your money behind Quantify Force there, so we'll see if you're all able to make that money, or the 4 people who have bet on Gracelight Ruby, 1 to 3.3, they'll be making a pretty penny here, Schmidt, if they win this. But we're about to get into the second game. Predictions here, Schmidt. Just 2 words, who do you think's going to win?
Quantify. That's one word, but there you go. Yeah. Quantify Force, there you go. But I will say I have put 1K on a team, and I'm not going to say which one I had initially bet because I put it on before the drafts as well. So that was before the drafts, and then now I put my prediction after the draft. So again, just as a neutral, I like to see a strong competitive game that's not landsliding. And I think, again, it's kind of, there's a lot more comeback ability in League of Legends. I think you'd probably say that, the bounties, the turnarounds, and the shutdowns is a lot easier than it used to be. Once one team was ahead, it was plain sailing. But if, Gracelight Ruby, they can get that first blood, but Quantify Force, like you said, that they are good at also coming back and holding the lead and making sure they win the game. So, once the Sion gets ultimately tanky, the Xayah is going to be so strong late game, and the Lilia and Nico are going to be dishing out 1,000,001 APE damage. So, But anyway, we can sort our timings out as well before I raffle them.
10 seconds.
I'm there.
All right, so 3, 2, 1, go for the second game. Nice. Of the not the score of the series of this grand finals. Oi oi oi, says PI Viking. Hello, it's lovely to see you here in the chat. Lovely to see some new faces, and lovely to see hopefully some great League of Legends, as these teams, they have gone face to face before. Actually, to cast our minds back, Schmidt, I'll just go on a little bit of a ramble here, if that's okay.
All right, go for it.
So when these two teams, oh yeah, you know it. When these two teams faced each other over 2 months ago, Shadowhopper, Incisor, and Stronger were all on the team, but Power Fruit and Goth Baddies were not. They were added later, as I believe. Oh, this is going to be. It was CS's Zero, who was the top player. He played like Kennen, and someone else was playing. But it's lovely to see that. Honestly, Power Fruit as well been such a great addition. I know he's a jungler in demand right now in this off season, but I mean, technically, are we even in off season, because we've still got a grand final to go for, and it looks like both the junglers again going to be starting on the opposite sides here, Schmidt.
Yeah, you've seen Lilia start. She can solo start on the chickens, so no reveal as well is obviously important in jungle of where you're starting. So you can actually see the Olaf fake leashing almost there, so coming out late to try and just deter and try and mess things up. Like I said, it's all about mental and trying to outsmart your opponent, because if you're predictable, if your opponent knows what you're going to do, then you're not going to win the game. It's all about catching your opponent out, not letting them know what your plan is. So they probably think that the Sejuani started top side to make their way down the bot lane. So that means that not only do Zydex and Deadly Fish going to be playing passively and holding back, giving the wave and the farm to Incisor, it also means that Goth Baddies can also push in that wave, knowing his jungler is going to come up to the top lane and help him out very, very soon. So it's a double whammy there, and it's a really nice start from Gracelight.
Yeah, as first rotation. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to.
What was that?
Yeah, I know.
Was that a cat near you?
Yeah. Sejuani actually going to leverage the early strengths of her champion. Going to try and look for a gank, but Cassandra wary to it. Just saw the positioning of Shadowhopper and decided against it. Shadowhopper took a lot of damage for that, as well as some more bad trading here going for the way of Gracelight Ruby. Just, a little bit worrying here, as on top, insult to injury, Big Boy Steve-O's a camp ahead and is clear.
Yeah, Lilia can clear the camps very quickly. So Sejuani isn't too bad, but can struggle a bit, so does need to get around the map a bit quicker, because Lilia has that kind of inherent movement speed buff. So she's down, getting that scuttle crab as well, pathing down to her bot lane, and hopefully trying to catch out the Kai'Sa maybe with that Nautilus early presence and that early damage ready to take them down. So yeah, it's so far so good for Quantify Force, I'd say. There's so much zoning there you can see from Deadly Fish. But yeah, Gracelight Ruby, they just got to see where to strike next, and they've got to make a move soon.
Yeah, big boy Steve-O now. He's got the crab. And where's he going to look here? He has got his raptors coming up. This is the advantage of taking raptors early, is that you can just dive straight towards them. Are we actually going to be warding that? Which is going to be super useful, because you know what? Big boy Steve-O, he is going to be revealed right now on them. Great jungle tracking. Just, you know, looking for that ward and instant value there, Schmidt.
Yeah, exactly, and you know, that's where the vision game has got to be played here, because now they know the Lilia's top side. Like I said, it's just such a map-wide influence, because it means Incisor and Stronger aren't worried about a gank. I mean, they're under their own turret, obviously, but you know, it just means that then also Goth Baddies has got to be just a bit safer as well. He's not doing too badly, pushing underneath, but of course the Nico is around, and you can see there that Power Fruit is trying to expect this counter gank maybe, but in the end, nothing's going to come of it.
It's a lovely try, but problem is Styler got so low that even if Big Boy Steve-O came, it probably wouldn't have gone well. So, you know, it wasn't great there. And here's the play coming from Deadly Fish. Hook lands. It's beautiful. 2 combos there as Shadow Hopper gets low. One more auto will do it. The Nautilus flashes in. He's getting that kill. The supportal combat coming up in game 2 here.
Yeah, nice roam from Deadly Fish. Of course, have seen the lane was pushed in, so and carrying on.
Deadly Fish is going for more here. Stronger gonna have to run for his life. Will use the flash as well. Z-Red-X flashes in. He wants that kill. He doesn't want a name change for his support. Neither does Deadly Fish with all those kills he's been racking up. 100% kill participation, and Quantify Force take the initiative in this early game.
Well, yeah, again, it's just a bit of laziness and not having your finger on the pulse. And, you know, you've seen the Nautilus there, because you could see him walking towards the bush, and Stronger just, you can't be making those risks where you think you're going to be able to base in time just before the hook. I mean, it's a Nautilus with a hook, fair enough. I don't know, if it's like, you know, a safer support, someone like a Lulu or something, you know, even then, you know, you can interrupt the recall. But Nautilus is just going to be in your face and take that first kill, and it's a first kill over to the enemy ADC. And when, you know, things were kind of level in that lane, they're really going to be a struggle with the Xayah getting that one up, you know, and has got that Noon Quiver already over the Kai'Sa. So now it means in terms of jungle, Power Fruit is going to have to try and apply his efforts maybe more in the top side, if he can try and, you know, wait till 6 until he turns around that bot lane.
Yeah, and we can see what that does to the gold lead. It's 1,100 and about 700 of that already on Z-Red-X. This is not when you want, when you've got not only the Valorant League Division 3, you know, the title on the line, but your own title as well. Deadly Fish and Incisor will be changing their names if one of them loses, so it is going to be just some extra pressure, extra incentive, and Sejuani actually looking to get aggressive here in this top side. We'll find Big Boy Steve-O. Will not have the smite though, so Big Boy Steve-O, he will be a little careful of this, and that's brilliant. Brilliant pathing there. Oh, Power Fruit going in a little bit. Maybe could have looked for a little bit more, but Power Fruit will actually just call it out, and Styler's here now.
Oh,
they're walking into a 3v2, and Power Fruit will get taught here. Ultimate coming out, and it'll land onto one. Olaf is trying to get as much damage down as he can. Power Fruit going low, but the Olaf is doing so much damage. Ari is here, and that's one already. Olaf is taking as much as he can. Styler looking to flash away, but Shadow Hopper, the Spirit Rush is on point. 3 kills going towards Gracelight here. A huge turnaround, Schmid.
Damn, yeah, I did not expect that coming round. I really thought once they were all jumping away and once the ult had landed, catching all 3 members of Gracelight Ruby, that it was just a done deal in terms of Quantify Force getting those kills. But crucially, though, Power Fruit, I don't know if you saw there, the Glacial Prison came out just on the right target, came onto the Lilia, and then that meant that the Olaf could free hit onto her and take her down straight away, and that just opened up the rest of the kills, because now this Olaf has got the kill, he's got a couple of assists, and that Sejuani really came through there with Shadowhopper in the end taking those 2 kills at the end as well. So yeah, huge turnaround, and this is just deja vu to last game. You got that kind of fortunate team fight, which things panned out for you, so build on it. Do not just, stick to your coordination. The Drake is up, so this is where you emphasize that lead now, but Deadly Fish is looking to make a change.
Yeah, and you can see how much pressure they're trying to leverage on this top side here, a Gracelight Ruby. Olaf doing a little bit of proxying, Power Fruit going for the Rift Herald that he will be able to pick up. A real good, just understanding of the map, knowing Olaf, he can get that free farm, can support Sejuani in whatever she does, and Lilia, fair play, just says, this is not my map. He was on the top side, transitioned straight to the bot side, because this is where her gold lead rests in this Xayah, and he is going to take this. Oh, a good ultimate, but it goes wide. It's a good ultimate in the fact that it went off, but in terms of any other metrics of defining that ultimate, it would be somewhat poor. Back to you, Schmidt.
Sure. Yeah, no, I think Shadowhopper probably had realized that since the enemy bot lane were missing, Dragon was probably being taken, so that was his opportunity to try and get something against Cassandra. And, great thing about Ahri is you can just dash out of the ultimate, avoid that heavy damage and CC. Is in the driving seat in this mid lane. Lissandra just wasn't clearly working last game, so good to see this Ahri with that mobility is able to have some survivability herself. But this Olaf getting bigger and bigger, really emphasizing that farm difference as well, because if maybe on the stream bring up that gold difference across the board, you can see there is a 1k in favor of that Xayah in the bot lane, but now you see 1200 in favor of the Olaf. And he's just going to get stronger and stronger. He's got to be careful, though, because he is pretty squishy at the moment still. Against the Nico and the Lilia, he can go down pretty quickly. So for now, he's just got to build up and probably get more of Mortius is really nice on an Olaf. But yeah, so in favor of Gracelight Ruby, but it's still all to play for with about 200 gold difference, really.
Yeah, right, just neck and neck right now. We'll really see just, where this lead can come from. Goth Baddies, he's really trying to accelerate it, going for the proxy again. Lilia's in the area, though. He could look to disrupt this, and Styler already here. I think Goth Baddies might catch wind of this. Yes, that's nice. Already positioning down, but oh god, there's 3 members coming up already. Yeah. Goth Baddies is going to have to be careful. He's going to use the ultimate. He uses it already, but it's not going to disrupt anything so far, and the Drowsy comes through. But ultimate popped a little too early there. That's a straight kill going up towards that top lane. That lead Goth Baddies has built, it's going to be shrinking now, still at 1k, but in response, Power Fruit, he's popped the Rift Herald, bot lane, Schmid.
Yeah, just that's the right thing to do, because Goth Baddie, despite that sadly death going there, that he was in control of that top side, so you need to just try and leverage the map if the team fight comes.
And they're going in here, Shadowhopper is in, using the Spirit Rush, that will be one. Zidrex almost going down, a lovely zoning ultimate from Cassandra, but it will not save Zidrex. Cassandra, the only one left defending this turret. Big Boy Steve-O is here, but no ultimate already used on that top side, and that's 2 kills gone down and 4 members. They could actually look to redive here. They have a minion wave that's coming in. They're trying to clear this as much as they can, and he's gonna have to run here. Cassandra, smite used to slow him down, grand entrance used, and that will be a stunned up and dead mid laner. Yes, and they take out both the real and the clone just to make sure. That is a huge play. 2,000 gold lead built on top of that, and you knew that Shadowhopper was coming, so I'm not really sure what was the response was there. More serious trading in this top side. Ultimate having to be popped here by the Olaf just to try and get rid of that CC, get a little bit more healing in him so he can walk away, maybe look for a back. But Schmid, what a play from Gracelight.
Yeah, it was really nice, and once it was a bit of false sense of security almost from the side of Quantify Force that the Rift Herald was there and they just thought they were going to walk away. But kudos to Gracelight Ruby. Again, that's what you need to see to win these games, is take what your advantage is and then absolutely turn the screw. And that's what they did. They have the Sejuani, who is so good at those engages, is so tanky with that passive, getting the extra resistances. And there might be another kill on the Olaf block, but the flash, I think, maybe.
It's the ghost that's used. 1E might be able to do it. And the axe comes down and is able to finish off Styler. He will now run for his life. He is still ghosted because he has ghosts now resets. He's going to look to push in that wave. Lilia might punishing him, but a solo bolo in the top lane.
Yeah, oh, you stole my thunder. I was almost just going to come out with a great fact, but maybe everyone knows already. But yeah, I really like that ghost reset. You know, someone like an Olaf is just so game-changing because, you know, once you get that first kill, you just keep... It's like a Yi, basically. Olaf is like a crowd-controllable Yi, pretty much, at this point, with a resetting ghost. So, yeah, it's was a good kill and played it just about right in the end, but a root here.
Oh god, Ari, get out of there! The ultimate would be popped and the spirit rush used, but he didn't even matter in the end. That is a shutdown solo bolo in the mid lane. Also, that flapping you heard in the background. My pigeon has now come to say hello to stream. She is just cooing in the background.
Your pigeon?
I do. I have a pigeon. Yeah, she's called Penny, and she loves to interrupt my streams and, you know, make life just really fun. But regardless, we're here. It is Quantify Force looking to take their second dragon of the game. But TP's coming in for the Shadow Hopper as they're going to try and look to have this stretch line coming out. And the quickness used. Stronger will find it. It's looking on Deadly Fist right now. And Stronger will move back. Deadly Fist will fall. But Big Boy Stevo will land the Drowsy onto 4. And Z-Red will be able to pick up 1. It's 1 for 1 right now. Shadow Hopper trying to get the charm down. But that will go onto the clone of Cassandra. Huge fight. Loads of ultimate use. But in the end, Schmid, 1 for 1.
Yeah, there was. I'm not going to expose Power Fruit too much of a crucial missed ability, but yeah, it did go down unfortunately, and that is when you're the lead Sejuani. So, you know, leading the line and is going to be taken down if the plan doesn't quite go there. So, did take down the Nautilus, I think it was, yeah. So, you know, I mean, a kill's a kill, I suppose, but at the moment now, it's the objective pushing that Gracelight Ruby is the difference between last game, as we see here.
Oh, yeah, Cassandra with a lovely two-man Pop Blossom, but that will be the end of her chapter. A good play, but nothing more coming of it. TP actually from the Scion. Yeah. Gonna use the choo-choo train to try and get another kill. Try and continue on this fight. Choo-choo! And it misses. Incisor and Stronger will just be able to walk out of that one. Styler cannot get anything down. He's had a rough laning phase this far. And it's insult to injury because in the top lane, it is Power Fruit who's been able to pick up that Rift Herald, the second one. So our Deadly Fish looking for it though. He is able to find Shadow Hopper. He will go against the wall, but he has no flash. He has no ultimate. And so he will get taken down. But in terms of overall gold there, still going towards Gracelight here.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the Rift Herald was taken, and now this turret might be taken just in time, but no, going to walk away from the Lilia, of course. The Olaf does have no magic resistances, but here you go for the Kai'Sa.
Incisors gonna try and have to survive this one. Good flash away from the Lilia. Stronger is here using the quickness to try and save them. A lot used there on that bot side dive for, you know, to fend it off, but Incisor and Stronger, they walk away with their lives here, Schmid.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, keep the Kai'Sa alive, you know, has got 150 gold bounty, so not huge, but it's, you know, these kind of differences is what makes League of Legends, isn't it? So, you know, the Nautilus did pop the depth charge there as well, so, you know, that's an ability that's off cooldown as well. Stronger was so close to, just didn't quite land the charm onto the Xayah. He just kind of jumped in and then just couldn't quite clip to maybe get one kill under the turret, but nonetheless, saved his ADC. Like I said, you know, a Rakan is so much better to peel for your ADC than a Nautilus because you give a bit of shield, bit of healing, and ultimately Stronger was the reason that the Incisor was able to stay alive. So a bit of a love affair cheating going on. The Rakan cheating on his own lover on the Xayah. But yeah, so for now, across the board, the two mid laners kind of struggling here and there, being caught out a few times, but in terms of the other lanes, obviously the Olaf has been strong and pushing, and he's going to be a great side lane push But you can see that no objectives up at the moment. Baron's up in about a minute for the first time. So the only really thing you can do is push in this mid lane from both sides, actually, but maybe there's an engage here.
Stronger gets hooked. He will be able to use that dash away, but the ultimate used by Stevo will land on Stu. TP coming in from Olaf will try and dissuade the rest. They run for alive, and big boy Stevo, he is looking a little out of position, but not if Shadow Hopper misses all those key abilities. He has the Spirit Rush, and he is going to have to get out here. Ultimate used from the Olaf as he is bulldozing here for Z-Red X. He will not be able to take him out. Sejuani has to use it here. It is a 4v4 right now, and it is Incisor almost looking to go down. The Kaiser is shut down. Stevo still alive. He is trying to do as much damage, trying to get Shadow Hopper down to the last time, but Shadow Hopper, he is saved by... No, he walks in! He walks into the Nico E, and he will be taken down.
Really?
Saved by the level up, but Power Fruit, he's left with it all to do. The health bars blinking redder than red, and Quantify Force pulling out of nowhere, and the team fight goes to Force.
Oh man, if you could see me right now, my hands are on my head. Like, I just don't understand. Like, that fight was back and forth like a bloody basketball match. It was just insane. Olaf kind of just dashed in. He absolutely popped everything. He was exhausted, so the damage was reduced, but he had the Ghost. He had the Ragnarok activated, and he didn't quite manage to land his damage onto the same target, onto the Xayah, and got so low and did die. Eventually the Sejuani Power Fruit came in. He is doing a lot better this time than the Jarvan, so the only thing was at the end that he ran away. He stunned the Nautilus, and that's when you get your extra pop of damage. Kill the Nautilus, you probably get a bit of health back as well, and then you probably take down the Nico there. So was just a bit nervous there, I think, kind of, you know, maybe lack of confidence from that first game, but it's going to continue the fight. The Drake is up as well.
Good little poke, just getting Cassandra off of that disguise. Nice bit of damage. Will make her think maybe twice. Remember, if the team of Quantify Force are able to take this objective, Styler going very far in. His team is just not there, but he is a very tanky boy in this Scion. So yeah, if Quantify Force are able to take this dragon, it will be soul point for them on next dragon. Power Fruit just looking for more, but there's no Ahri here. This is a very disjointed fight. Kai'Sa is flanking. She's the ADC, although does have that ultimate to be able to get in quickly as possible. A very intense dragon dance here. The E from Big Boy Stevo is used. Deadly Fish gets landed on with a lot of damage, but still nothing used. Hook used, and here's the fight right now. Ult used onto Incisor, but he's able to stay safe. Power Fruit as they look to take on Big Boy Stevo. It's a huge ultimate from the side of Cassandra, but it looks like Quantify Force actually might be losing this one. It's 3 down. It's 3 down. Z-Red X is surviving on a sliver of health, but he will be able to survive. Styler doing so much on that Scion, and with all it's said and done, oh god, Incisor! Jesus Christ, almost getting taken down by the dragon.
Oh my god!
But after that bloody fight, it is 4-4-2. Gracelight pull it back.
Jeez, oh man, do you know what? Sometimes I wonder why I keep coming back to this sometimes very negative game, League of Legends, but the Rakan flash into the dash to save his ADC from the dragon is League of Legends summed up, and is exactly why everyone keeps coming back to this sometimes very toxic, crazy game that you just love and hate. And that was the real lovely Marmite moment right there. So kudos to Stronger, and just an all-mad team fight, really. The Cassandra came in with a brilliant 4-man, I think, knock-up, maybe 3. Getting such good damage, and then Goth Baddies, I don't know if you saw, but I mean, was down to about 100 HP, and that healing coming through there was really holding on. He's gone for the Ravenous Hydra instead of the Titanic, so that's where he's getting a bit of that extra Vampiric Scepter lifesteal, because the W is just a bit changed now. He doesn't quite get that that extra lifesteal, so yeah, it's been nerfed a bit, but really just powered
It's
through. Which is good
round
again.
2. Stronger going in with the quickness, is able to charm as much as he can. Power Fruit going in as well, but Incisor and Shadow Hopper, they're not there. Incisor dashes in, but gets picked off already. Ari is able to get the dragon, but that's 1 dead. 2, they have inted through this fight. They have got the dragon, but at what cost? 3 down, and Baron's on the table. Baron's up, but look in the top lane. Olaf is pushing as much as he can. Shadow Hopper uses the dash to go in. He's trying to buy as much time as he can, but Big Boy Steve-O with that Conqueror procced, with that 14 kill participation on his back, will be able to take down Ari, take the Baron, and it is only an Olaf left. Goth Baddies watching his team fall in the top lane, from the top lane.
Yeah, the difference there was lack of Olaf, so it was basically it was a 4v4. I can't actually remember if the Scion was there, so I think it was a 4v4, and that's why Gracelight were thinking to take the team fight. But you know, when you don't have your Olaf, who is doing so much damage, and CC with that slowing on the axe, that you're really going to hinder yourself. And the dash in from Incisor clearly has seen someone like Viper, or you know, the Korean Kaisers going in for that play, and unfortunately pulled it off a bit too soon there, and didn't really come out. So unfortunately that means Quantify now have got the driving seat. They've taken the steering wheel away from Gracelight Ruby, taking down these turrets as well. Maybe this one as well, because there's just not much wave clear, because the Ahri is nowhere to be seen. Not helping out clearing this wave, is just kind of sticking around in the bot lane, sadly. Not that he can probably do much. But yeah, so you're seeing this Lilia is actually coming through pretty well now. Has got both the Liandry's Torment and the Demonic Embrace. And yeah, doing a fair bit of damage. So it's going to be interesting to see how this goes.
Stronger is just taking a tour, and he goes back straight back. There you go.
Yeah, just sharing a bit of love, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, so that is a cooldown that is going to be up now for that Rakan ultimate. So it does just mean that they've got to kind of wait around a bit. But you can see that mid lane turret has got to be the priority. That mid lane outer turret is still standing. And they get a charm, though.
Flash Ferrari trying to lock down Big Boy Steve-O, and Incisor's going to try and finish the job. But that is a very tanky Big Boy Steve-O, and an ultimate, a 3-man plot blossom, and it will be Zerodex who is taken down. Double TP as Olaf is going to try and come and finish this one. Zerodex still healthy. Zerodex still hitting from the back line. Styler coming in now to try and tank, but is this Olaf? It's all on him right now. He goes for the clone. The clone. It's a beautiful bit of misdirection there from Cassandra. 4 dead for Gracelight, and it is only Shadow Hopper who is going to have to defend this off. The Gold League the Gold League now has swung for them. Shadow Hopper running for his life, but again, that is just the clone, and another tower and another team fight, Schmid, for Quantify.
Dear Lord, I think this game finished at about 25 minutes, didn't it? And we had about probably 30 kills, but it was 30 kills that were like 24-6 in favor of Quantify Force. And now we've got 37 kills pretty evenly after 27 minutes. It's just mental. And this is what I'm here for. So guys, keep doing those crazy team fights for nothing. I'm really enjoying it, because that's what I do. But yeah, it's those crucial little decisions, isn't it? That on the clone there, you saw the Olaf, he got 1, he got 2, and then he just went left instead of right, followed the clone, because if he'd gone for the right Nico, he would have taken that down, get the lifesteal reset, and continue to take down the rest of the team, I think. You know, and then you're looking at an Olaf who would be 8 for 3 instead of 6 and 4. I mean, that swing is just huge, right? So you know, the Drake is going to be up soon, so it's going to be potentially soul point. Quantify Force. So I got Ocean Souls today. That's 2 in a row. So hopefully we get something a bit nicer next time. But yeah, maybe an ambush here, and Drake coming up soon.
Oh, they don't have the vision here. Well, I actually showed the red side vision there. But if we go to the blue side vision, they see that they've just seen what they were able to do, what they were looking for were Quantify Force. You got 5 members here. Olaf, actually, he's managed to make his way all the way into the bottom side of the bottom river. Baron currently up in 1 minute 40, but there's a dragon up in 10 seconds. 5 seconds right now, and it's going to be the mid laners contesting the push. And we've seen so much action here, Schmidt, on this bot side. We might see more of it.
Oh yeah, 100%. Sejuani's there, ready and waiting. Can she dash in and steal it?
Oh, I cannot get it off. And Power
Goodbye.
Fruit, you know, sorry, buddy, that's the punishment. Whether you win or you lose, that was what's going to happen. If you actually look here, Goth Baddies is just going to try and take this top lane tower. He will get it, to be fair to him, and he's going to have to buy as much time as he can. The ultimate will be used from Stevo. However, the damage that will be taken onto an Olaf, you cannot survive all of that. And so it'll be one kill, one tower
nice.
for now. And with the time that he bought, Goth Baddies has managed to secure Gracelight Ruby 2 towers now. Schmidt, what do we think of that?
Schmitty, yeah, I know. I'm just gonna start calling you Sean Connery from now on. But yeah, I mean, this is what you got to do, right? Is when maybe, I mean, they're not losing badly, Gracelight Ruby, but you know they are. I think in terms of team fight now, I think they will struggle to win them 5v5. So you just got to be more strategic with your resources, and the Olaf obviously can melt a turret like you've just seen there. So even though there are 3 Drakes to the side of Quantify Force, even though you know both their inner turrets for mid and bot are taken, the 2 inner turrets top and bot lane for Quantify Force have gone due to the Olaf just absolutely powering through. So he's got so much farm. He's 60 farm ahead of the next highest player in this entire game, which, you know, on average maybe probably 15 gold, isn't it, per CS? So, you know, that's like 700, 800 gold. So 900 even, I should say, yeah, if my math is good. So 900 gold is like a whole one, what do you call it, like...
I believe in you. I'm not helping you here.
Okay, cool, thanks. I knew you were going to come in and help me. No, but one like ingredient item.
Yeah.
There is another word,
Stick
but anyway,
the
so yeah, sure. You know, something like a pickaxe, something like, you know, a chainmail like he's got as well, makes all the difference in this game. So you know, kudos to him to really push through. And the Olaf is where it's going to win or lose, unfortunately. The Ahri's doing a fair bit of damage, but where this Olaf is, what he does, if he dies, that is where this game is going to be won or lost.
And you wonder why people don't want to cast with me, chat. Oh, Power Fruit going in, trying to look for Big Boy Stevo, but will he use the flash to get out? And will he find an ultimate? He'll find a good he'll find an E onto Incisor. Can he find anything more for that sleep ultimate? Nothing so far. And so we still got a lot of ultimates still up. 4 up for the side of Quantify Force and 3 up for Gracelight Ruby, but they've got the vision control. They've been setting up for this at Quantify Force. They turn their sights to the Baron.
Yeah, they can take this down pretty quickly, but Gracelight Ruby, they are around. Can they take anything from this?
Yeah, Shadow Hopper looking over the wall. Deadly Fish using the hook. And here's the fight right now. Shadow Hopper and Incisor are going to have to do so much damage right now. But they just decide against it. They do a little bit of a damage test. Decide against it. Cassandra flashing in. Good reaction times by Incisor. He will be able to get out. Power Fruit might be the sacrificial lamb here. He is going to get stunned up. He will be taken down. And Goth Baddies and Shadow Incisor Shadow Hopper have been caught on the wrong side here. Big Boy Stevo still has his sleepy ult. He will be able to take down Shadow Hopper, and that is done. That is the mid jungle taken down of Gracelight Ruby. 3 members left, and they are going to have to hold a Baron empowered. Oh god, is it going to be the Olaf who's going to try and go in? A lovely Zonia's to be able to dissuade him, and a good flash hook from Deadly Fish will take down Goth Baddies. The crucial bit in the game plan of Gracelight Ruby has fallen, and so has the base being cracked open now. They might just end this here, Schmid.
Yeah, why not? I mean, you got the Baron buff behind you, and you got your 5 members, 2 members down. Olaf, no threat to be had. And now this is going to be probably game 2. It is just a matter of time. The turrets are down, and now a pop as well, but trying to turn things around Gracelight Ruby.
Yeah, but that's Incisor. Had to use the killer instinct, and that cannot find Big Boy Stevo. He's still alive. all members of
Ari?
Quantify are alive. Shadow Hopper is there.
For the final picture.
Yeah, gotta get in, gotta show off the skin. But that's 2-0 to Quantify. They look to take this to match point, to series point. The undefeated team of Quantify Force might be taking it all the way here, folks, to take the final victory. Schmid, take over before other random words come into my head to finish this sentence.
Okay. Well, I think that
No, don't coffee. No. No, fuck this. No.
So good.
No,
Right.
it was bad the first time, and now it's just terrible.
And we will see who, will win the next game, because Quantify Force, it was really in the balance. Oh man, it's just like you can see it there. It's just the underdogs coming through, and they're doing everything right. And I see it in my games, because obviously all these players across the board, I may come in with these criticisms sometimes, but disclaimer, I am nowhere near the level of any of these players, and there were some brilliant plays from every single player, I think, in that game. You had the Rakan saving his ADC, you had the Olaf powering through, you had the Sejuani locking down the enemy team, and that is how Gracelight Ruby got into the lead. And then Quantify Force, they're just so, again, they don't buckle under pressure. They keep calm. The Lilia is coming through. Big man Steve-O proved me wrong, because Lilia was really a resounding success there, and really just well coordinated. You saw, at the end there, you can see where it falls apart. The Sejuani ultimate came in on the Nico, and there was no follow-up, unfortunately. So you've just got to, it's easier said than done, of course. So you just got to try and be like, when that ultimate comes in, everyone else is literally breathing down your neck, ready to take it down. So composition, I don't fault really. I think it was winnable for Gracelight Ruby, and Quantify Force, able to just stay calm. The Scion was tanky, did his job in the front line, and then people like the Xayah and the Nico and the Lilia did their job. But you know what? Actually, I think the one player that pulled through Quantify Force, whether it was in the comms as well, was Deadly Fish, because the engages on the Nautilus, that double kill, going the mid lane, straight down to the bot lane, taking out that Rakan. That is what you want to see from your support. Not just one kill in the mid lane and then go back to base, get your wards and all that crap. You've taken one kill, right, where's the next kill coming from? Bot lane, they're recalling, they're lazy. Get that kill for your ADC, and that is why Quantify Force are one game away from winning the grand final here.
Schmid, I think it's over. I think we're about to get a reverse sweep. Goth baddies. No,
I said all of that.
No. Here's the thing. Goth baddies, right? No. The thing is, he entered that game, right? He had some bad calls, but he entered the game to win the series. I was highlighting this on the end game score. Do you know what Goth baddies' end score ended up as in terms of kills, deaths, and participation?
I think I'm trying to remember the most recent one. It was like he had like 10 kills, did he?
Nope.
Around 10 kills?
It was it was 6, 6, and 6.
6? Oh, no way.
Goth baddies, he's shown us his power in this top lane, but he realized that his power alone will not be able to stop this, so sacked the game and used his kill score to summon the devil himself. I am worried here for Quantify Force. They may have won these first 2 games. We've seen them throw 2 in this exact same position last week. God help Quantify Force, because Gracelight Ruby, they are coming, and that's either of an absolute banger of a game or it's a 19-minute victory for Force, and this is just a complete ramble. So regardless, something big's gonna happen. You won't want to miss it.
Yeah. It's all bringing up because obviously losing 2 games, again, like I said, they can probably see where their mistakes came in. And I think, credit to Gracelight Ruby that they can win this 3rd game. They're not a team that's down and out, and they really did try and go for it. There were just those little decisions, which is just so crucial. I think League of Legends is like surgery sometimes because you've got to really know where you're inserting that needle to, well, not do the damage, you know what I mean, but to fix and, get the job done, as it were. And if you, as so much as waver a finger and move in the wrong direction, like the Olaf did with the clone, the swing is, like I said, could have been 8-3, instead it was 6-4 Olaf, and Drake was up ready to go. So, that's 3 kills in terms of the death and the 2 kills. That's a 3-kill swing in favor of Quantify Force, and, it's such a hard thing to come back from that as well, because you've got to try and do that again, but at that deficit as well. So that's kind of why it started snowballing, because there were just a bit too many crazy moments for Gracelight Ruby that let slip, and in those crazy moments, it's Quantify Force, the steadied, the level-headed team that come out on top. So, it's going to be interesting to see how this one goes. But I think the initial plan from Gracelight Ruby was all right, but Quantify Force in the driving seat for sure.
Yeah, and
go on.
Yeah, I was just going to point out, just got the special wager up for the people who have just joined us. This is the what's going to happen with the, Gracelight Ruby's bot lane with a higher 17 minutes. Deadly Fish will have to change his name. And if Quantify do that, then Incisor must change his name. And we've just got word that even though Gracelight Ruby lost the game, Incisor's bot lane with Incisor and Stronger did have the higher gold lead at the end, so it's 1-1 right now. And if this is third game, both of these, these ADCs, they might not even care about the Valence League Cup. They just don't want to change their name because someone in chat or someone on the enemy team is going to snatch that account up. You're going to see a level 1 Incisor or a level 1 Deadly Fish, and it's like, oh, what are you going to give me for, you know it's going to come up. But regardless, we're here now, and just got a little bit of info here. And it will be that Gracelight Ruby, having lost the game, they will have side selection. And I'm going to have to change this in the goddamn thing because they have taken the red side of Gracelight Ruby. What do you think this might suggest? Oh, God, I've completely fucked up the scene. Hang on. Just talk for a little bit.
Okay.
And I'm going to fix it.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Into this game 3. And taking red side for Gracelight Ruby. So, interesting. Got to change it up and see where it goes. But red side is better for some champions. I think actually Kai'Sa on red side can do pretty well. I think the Kai'Sa-Rakan combination does go together very well, and it did go well. That game was just, again, the coordination wasn't quite there. So we'll see how that goes. But it sounds like it was going to be the whole Discord name as well, but it's already been taken, the name. So maybe just instead of insecure, it's got to be like unstable or something, or insane. But fish out of water, maybe you just be like, I don't know, dead fish.
Regardless, one thing not dead is this stream right now. 65 viewers. Oh my God, this is amazing support for
Can we get 100 on the final game? If we get to game 5, it's got to be 100, surely.
Yeah, absolutely.
100 people. Yeah, I'm gonna re-lubricate my throat though with some water.
Please do.
So I will be back in 30 seconds.
No worries. Please go lubricate. I'm feeling good right now. So I'm just gonna chat to the guys, and hello. What a transition from the young samurai. I know, right? It's sick. I'm incredible at production, honestly. It's not. Oh right, yeah. The casting for the one thing that's not dead. How are we feeling, chat? I know it's been a little bit of a stomp so far, but I don't know about anything else. What about, the off season? It's coming. So many teams getting involved. We've got some new org coming as well. White Rose. And thank you very much. Ratboy Games. I did bet on Quantify, and I got a nice little Nice little boost. Spam this flower to increase Shadow Hopper's power. There we go. There's a new one. I like the change up. Yeah, we've got Deja Vu. Shout out to all the orgs. Hopefully getting maybe a Division 1, maybe a Division 4. Trying to expand this scene. We've had the Quantify Cup as well. It's brought some new people, new faces into this. And yeah, it is going to be so interesting to see. Can this 5v5 community, amateur. We don't focus on, the high low streams. We focus on your golds, silvers, platinums, and all in between, just playing, because they deserve casters too, and you can get just as good storylines, just as amazing plays, an investment, I feel like, with these teams. Div 3 team is overrated as fuck. Well, you know what, Hitsu? I didn't ask. That's right. I said it. I don't think I asked. There you go. Anyway, back to this. It's a shame because Gracelight Ruby, they also did struggle a little bit. Grace, you're on a Div 3 team. Oh, okay, never mind. No worries. Anyway. Yeah, Gracelight Ruby, they also struggled a little bit in that semi-finals. Oh, by the way, if you managed to catch that VOD, the semi-finals last week, I believe last week. Oh my god, 50-50 versus Quantify Force was just incredible thing to see. But yeah, unfortunately, the one thing we're not going to see, Incisors Draven or his Samira, very much just taking that off the table. I think Incisors are going to have to go back to something different. Quantify have really put the pain on in draft, and, Gracelight Ruby, they're able to get these early advantages. They did the same to Frostbite Mystics, but Quantify Force, they have the experience, they have the mental fortitude to be able to pull it back, and it's working so far. So... yeah. So, how are we all doing? It's Monday afternoon. I'm feeling good. About to cast some goddamn VL as teams. Quantify at least is ready. I'm just gonna say that production is ready. We can always get into it whenever we want. As a little bit of an update once again. It is Gracelight Ruby who have decided to take the red side here, going for the maybe going for those counter picks, those R3 and R5. It's hello Schmidt, it's lovely to have you back.
Thank you. Good to be back for this potential final game, really. But you're saying you're predicting the reverse sweep. I mean,
I'm not predicting it. Not. The devil is predicting it.
Oh, the devil is. Okay, yeah. Sure. But it certainly was a closer game, that one. The end last 5 minutes was certainly a repeat of the first one in terms of that just like complete collapse and the snowball into Quantify Force just winning every fight and winning the game. But Gracelight Ruby held on so well. I mean, for probably 25 minutes, it was in the balance, really. So just kind of, improve that and pick up on it. So you can see the Lilia, after not being banned for one game, is back in the ban pile.
Yeah.
But you can see that, no Kai'Sa ban from the side of Quantify Force again. So whether it's picked up, because blue side is Quantify Force here, sorry, so Gracelight haven't banned it. So, probably going for an ADC pick makes the most sense, because there's not too many else that, is priority. ADCs are really where the priority is at. So it'll be interesting to see where they go. Unless a jungler, there you go. The Kai'Sa is priority at the moment. So it'll be interesting to see how they respond.
what the answer is here, I really would love to see something like an Ashe. The Tristana is a good one as well. It is a pick to watch that you put and we were talking about. A really good flex in the mid lane, really powerful, can also go to that AD role. We'll see if Gracelight want to pick it up here. They are hovering it, will go down to 0 seconds, and there we go. New champion that's just come out. And there you go. It will be the Tristana. Where it will go, still yet to be determined here, Schmid.
Yeah, obviously it can be mid or bot lane, so we'll keep Quantify Force on their toes, and you'll see where the next picks come in. And, you know, a support is a good one to obviously take as your second pick, just to kind of shore up that bot lane, not give anything away, and that's the Nautilus, taken in with Tristana. So very strong engage there, and you know, I think looking at the two comps last time, you know, we've had the kind of tankiness in the top lane. The Olaf is tanky, but he's more of a bruiser. So, you know, because you look at that composition and there wasn't, you know, you had the Sejuani and a Rakan's kind of tanky, but he's more of a nimble engage, and, you know, he's not the one taking the brunt in front of your team. So I think if there was a way where Gracelight could improve, is to just have a bit more of a steady front line. And a Gragas is exactly that point. So thank you for honouring my comments, Gracelight. There you go.
Yeah, that Gragas coming in, it is Powerfruit's most played champion as of late. Has those engage tools, really explosive, could get onto a Kai'Sa really easily. I love a potential mid jungle duo as well. Tristana and Gragas could punish anything that is thrown up in that mid lane. So yeah, I really love it. It's not been banned out. And hey, look, we need, as Gracelight, you need to mix things up in this third game. And right now, Schmid, I'm loving these mix-ups.
Yeah, you can see the bans, you know, it's kind of, you know, because there's always a series meta, isn't there? In amongst the kind of the season and league meta. So you can see here that the Nico and the Lilia, you know, clearly proved to be a thorn in the side of Gracelight Ruby. So taken away, but the staple bans, those 5 bans that Quantify Force have gone with, because they've won 2 in a row, you know, why would you change the bans? So just ban the same ones you've been doing, and, you know, obviously that means hopefully that the same result will come out. So a nice kind of change up here with the Jarvan, with the Braum as well. Now they've got the Kai'Sa back after losing it in game 2. That means that is where the damage is going to be, and the Braum is a nice front line against something like a Nautilus, and another tank coming out with the Mundo. So, you know, the mid lane for Gracelight Ruby has got to be a pretty big damager.
Mundo, blind as well. The good thing about Mundo here is because you've got this Kai'Sa, you know you're probably going to get something maybe AP sided, assuming your mid lane is going to go AP. So I do like it. I like it as a blind. Yes, it has given over both the Jarvan and the Braum to very strong champions in Big Boy Stevo and Deadly Fish's hands respectively. The Cho'Gath, we've seen it banned out before, but we will not be banned out a second time, as Styler will get his hands on that champion he has played throughout this season. One of his comfort picks. But oh no! No, I stand corrected. Styler is going to get his hands on the Ornn, as I think that Cho'Gath is going to be a counter against Tristana in the mid lane for Cassandra. That is a lovely counter to bring out. Can put those Void Spikes right on the Tristana, knock her up, and just deal so much damage while being tanky yourself. An interesting pick here, Schmid. Syndra and Sid back, which means Tristana probably going to the AD role now. Yeah. What a draft.
Yeah, back and forth, these kind of flex picks. So clearly looks like, they were trying to go for the Cho'Gath, weren't they? Going into that Tristana, but Gracelight Ruby had the final say in this draft, and they've gone for the Tristana bot lane, the Syndra in the mid lane. It's going to still struggle a bit against the Cho'Gath, it's not going to be straightforward, that's for sure. I mean, he's a tanky boy. Naturally, he gains permanent health, obviously, with his ultimate, and, probably going to be that AP bruiser, I suppose, kind of mid laner. But yeah, I mean, beef is really the theme, isn't it, across the board, because you've got a Nautilus, a Gragas, a Mundo on the side of Gracelight Ruby, and also four tanky members for Quantify Force. So Zion X has got his hose in the front line here, holding the front line, and is all on him to be doing the damage. So I'm curious to see how this pans out. Some very quite different strategies coming through here.
Predictions, your bets can come in the chat, as currently Quantify have all the people who have bet on Quantify currently won't be making any money because Gracelight Ruby, no one has bet on them. So not a very supportive thing for the people in chat, at least the people who have channel points. Yeah, 9.8 thousand to 0 in favor of Quantify. Do you agree here, Schmid? What are your predictions? Just talk me through this draft.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, there's so much front line, and there's also so much focus on the Kai'Sa being the damage for Quantify, because if the Kai'Sa dies first in a team fight, there's not really an outlet. Cho'Gath, is probably the next strongest damage in your team. So, I mean, if anything, it just kind of shows Gracelight Ruby where to focus. You get the depth charge on the Kai'Sa, who, obviously is a difficult champion to lock down. You've got the Braum in front of her, and it's not going to be easy to get to her. But, something like an explosive cask knocks her into the team. The Syndra unleash power, and that is a dead ADC if you've ever seen one. So, I'm actually, if I didn't think about the 2-0 and the kind of the state of play, that prefer Gracelight Ruby's composition for sure. You've got a versatile Gragas, you've got a Mundo who's kind of just in the mix there as well, and you've got that one-shot potential with the Syndra, the Tristana, the Nautilus. If they combine up very well together, it's going to be tough for Quantify Force. So, if anything, this is where Quantify can show they actually deserve the championship here and now. So, composition-wise, Gracelight Ruby. But, Quantify Force, they've done it twice. So, I think they can pull this off with the third one.
Can Quantify make this a quick win so we can go back to hot tub streams? Says I smoked Ivan. Why did I praise Quantify before? When the Quantify Nova support says something like that. Oh my god, folks. Control your players. This is ridiculous. We have standards here in Valence League. Oh my lord. I can't see the bets now because I clicked off the thing, but someone bet like 110 on Gracelight Ruby, and because there was so many channel points for Quantify, it meant that if they won, they would have turned their 110 channel points into 9,900. So, the person who bet on Gracelight, you're about to maybe lose 110 channel points, or become the biggest brains and a very rich man. Samurai hot tub stream after. How much money you got? That's all I'm saying.
I will reveal now. Last time I had put 1k on Gracelight Ruby last game before the picks had come out, so I did lose that one, but. Again, before the picks, that's what I've tried to do. Is I had put 500 on Quantify to see this game out and see it as a 3-0. But again, now I'm probably going to go against me again, because Gracelight Ruby, like I said, I prefer their composition. It's just a bit more straightforward. I think Quantify have just made it a bit more difficult for themselves than they needed to. But again, time will tell what happens here, where the junglers start. It looks like the Gragas starting in the top side.
Wait, do you want to maybe sync up our times?
Oh, that too. Yeah. No, we're synced. We're always synced. What are you talking about?
Okay, so 10 seconds. All right.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Yep. Go on.
All right. So 3, 2, 1, go for the last game.
Nice.
Potentially the last game. Sorry.
Oh, no.
Potentially. Oh, no,
He's called it already.
I've called it. Yeah, it's going from bad to worse. Oh god, I can't even control the camera right now. There we go. Got it back going. Who knows? Maybe we've experienced so many times on this cast the horrors of the caster curse. And who knows here, Schmidt, this could be applied once again. 5 stacking in this brush from Quantify saying, I know how Nautilus works, I know how Nautilus plays, but this isn't solo queue, guys. You don't need to do this. And yeah, Nautilus will just be chilling a standard 5-point defense here. So Schmidt, you were saying something about maybe Gragas on the top side?
Yeah, he's hanging in the top side at the moment, but I think it was just to cover that spot of the jungle. So yeah, he's coming down. Blue buff makes more sense, obviously, on a Gragas. But Jarvan, he's kind of got that ability to start either side, so he can pick and choose. And yeah, top side, like blue side, makes sense to start off with. Again, the Ornn against Mundo is not really going to have any fear of snowballing or dying quickly. So go for the blue, which is obvious as well. But, you know, I think me as a jungler, I like to change it up because I think when you're the enemy jungler, that, you know, you like to defy the expectation. So Quantify are probably expecting the Jarvan to come bot side early. So, you know, you got to mix it up a bit sometimes there. But, you know, they've gone with the expected. You know, it's reverse. Are they... You know, do they think he's changing it up so he's bot side, so he's red side, but actually he's going to stick with a normal plan? You know, you can you can theorize all day and every day about jungle. But anyway, this is what it is. Both junglers in same fashion, starting opposite sides of the jungle, and not going to be meeting each other because Jarvan's going to be the stronger one at the moment, and he's hopefully going to path down to help his bot lane, if not the mid lane as well.
Yeah, to level 2 for the bot lane. We'll just use that to get a little bit of damage. I'm so interested in this mid lane. How is this Cho'Gath going to fare? Thought he was going against the Tristana, but found himself against the Syndra. Currently a slight CS lead, but obviously 2 CS means nothing in the grand scheme of things. And just how is this going to play out? Will have quite a bit of CC. Maybe can use that silence to guarantee a knockup. We'll see what they can do, but right now the Jarvan, he's level 3, hovering around, you know, Shadow Hopper, and they're going in already. Good yeah. Flash. Just making sure to use that already, and no flash on a dashless mid laner. That's going to be, you know, Shadow Hopper's going to have to play this lane really carefully here, Schmidt.
Yeah, but flash coming out already, but the return gank as well from the other jungler, not going to come to anything, no flash burn. But yeah, out of the 2 champs, I mean, Shadow Hopper is going to be the one pushing the lane in, so he's going to have to be the one more careful about being caught out. So was a very close call. Big Boy Stevo doing what you should be doing on Jarvan is just taking those early ganks, but in top lane, Ornn is feeling the strength at the moment.
I think very much an underrated, a player who's really gone under the radar this series in terms of who we focused on. Styler has managed to get, you know, some great leads. You know, even though he struggled against that Olaf in game 2, that Scion still proved, you know, so much value. But I might be cut off here because Big Boy Stevo, he's here. He will be spotted on the ward, so they will know. But Stronger gonna get stunned up by that Baron passive, and Stronger is gonna try and use the flash for his life, and it's a good hook. It's a lovely hook even. So good, my voice will break in its shocked state. As no kills on that bot side, I thought that was going to happen. I thought the kills were going to come through, but nothing.
Yeah, nothing in the end, and it was well played by Big Boy Stevo. Obviously, the excitement and the temptation is to just come straight in with that flag and drag, but he did save it on the Nautilus until he burned the flash. The flash was burned, but the good play from the bot side of Gracelight Ruby was that, you know, the Nautilus is the one hanging back because he's the one that can pull himself to safety a lot more easily. So, you know, they focus on the tank and the support, and he's still able to get out with no deaths, but there might be one here.
Power Fruit coming in, will use the flash. It's a good flash, making sure he is as safe as anything. Goth Baddies was very low though. Maybe could have tried to turn it, but decides to go for the safer option. Remember, you are Ornn. You scale, and you help your team scale as well. A very deadly combination. And so, yeah, Styler, he's been playing this lane so well. I think in fights, Goth Baddies, you know, he's really tried to make stuff happen, but I think Styler has just been consistent. He's been a great engage, a real constant in the team so they can focus around ZRedX, this deadly fish, Stevo combo, the support jungle. So, you know, Styler very much 20% in this team effort that's brought Quantify here, Schmidt, to 2-0 in the series.
Yeah, exactly. It's been a strong performance across the board. We haven't mentioned Styler that much, but like you said, he's been a steady constant throughout those 2 games, and he is a bit behind on the farm here. You know, I mean, only about 20 CS at the moment, because I think he's just been trying to poke down this Mundo more. So it's not crazy at the moment. You know, the difference isn't too bad, but you know, the Mundo, for instance, gone the Merc Tread straight away, first item, just to help with that CC. We're going to engage.
Shadow Hopper doesn't have a flash. He's going to have to use the Scat of the Week, and he does. Ultimate from Cassandra is up, but it will not be able to take down Shadow Hopper, who still has his ultimate, and even with no flash, is able to survive that mid gank. Shadow Hopper, he's dicing with death right now. And it's a lovely Scatter of the Week. One auto will take it though. And it's first blood to Steve-O. Shadow Hopper, he tried his best. He held on for so long, Schmid. But in the end, it didn't really matter.
Yeah, I don't understand what you're doing, but I might have to pause a minute.
Yeah, Deadly Fish getting a lot of damage, and Incisor jumps in, looking to get all of it. Will have the jump reset, and now Zerodex caught in a little bit of a 1v2. However, the minions are there, adding a little bit of extra support. Lovely flash from Zerodex, dodging the hook. Stronger is going to have to get out of this one, as there are 2 members here looking for his butt. And that is Big Boy Steve-O taking the 2nd kill. Jarvan, my friends, in the chat, is online.
Yeah, Big Boy Steve-O, first time on the Jarvan. You know, that non-Jarvan player he told us he was? Yeah, cool. So, you know, you did have him highlighted in your kind of top 3 picks as well, didn't you? And he is exactly proving why that was highlighted, because 3 ganks, including burning the flash, but crucially, returns to the mid lane before the flash has been burned. It's like such a basic concept League of Legends, but not always pulled off, and it's kind of the saving grace for a jungler when you're burning those flashes and you just feel you're not getting anything. But don't lose hope. You go back to the mid lane. The Syndra, unfortunately, thought, you know, just after being ganked, decides to try and go back in and apply some damage. And gonna maybe get a kill here.
Ooh, a lovely little combo onto Cassandra, who will go down to 50% health. Powerfruit's gotta go down though. Shadow Hopper uses the ultimate, but 1 auto's worth of damage saves Cassandra from death. Still at a perfect game right now. Goth baddies though. Goth baddies with the snipe, although Shadow Hopper will go down. Taking down his Styler. He's going to use the Ornhorn. He lands it onto Powerfruit. Tries to displace him with the cast, but it will not be enough. A double kill for Jarvan, who has gone 4-0 and he is 100% kill participation, taking every kill and making sure that lead is firmly in his hands. Zerodex, that's not where you want to be. He doesn't have the flash, uses the killer instinct, but that's Incisor grabbing a solo kill, keeping Gracelight Ruby's hopes alive.
See, that's where the reverse psychology comes in, because I don't know if you noticed, but Stronger actually put the dredge line just behind Zydex, because the typical expectation is to put it in front of them, and they step backwards to avoid it and then run forward. But, you know, it's almost like that kind of, like cop and robber kind of cycle, you know, so like, you know, police get better trained, then the robbers get better at like robbing banks, and then the police, and it's that cycle, and it's support and ADC is that kind of same mentality, you know, throwing that in front of the ADC, then they decide they're going to step back. So now they start stepping back, you throw the dredge line behind as well, and catches him out there. So saving grace for Gracelight Ruby to get that 1 kill onto their ADC. But yeah, in the mid lane, it's not looking great, and Big Boy Steve-O, he is looking huge.
Yeah, already has the Gore Drinker. He's looking a huge trade in the top lane. Gothbaddy's trying to heal up as much as he can. That ultimate maybe turning the fight here. He's going to try and get Styler down, but so low in this top lane. So low that has enticed a young Shadow Hopper to try and take down Styler. Will get interrupted. Will have to use the flash. No ultimate. Will be in range to be able to take down Styler, and is able to survive once again. The mountain in this top lane, the rock of Quantify will stay strong. So looking to take down Big Boy Stevo here. Ultimate comes out. He's so low, and Big Boy Stevo falls a shutdown. That's one, and Cassandra is able to take out one herself. You're gonna have to run though, as it is a 2-for-1 right now. Goth Baddie's using the ghost, trying to get as much down. He's so low, trying to turn, try and get the damage down. Can they wait for Styler? Styler's ult misses. Sorry, the knockup. Oh no, and there's the fight in the bot side as well. Deadly Fish is taken down by the Tristana. Styler trying to do as much as he can, but that's 4 dead on the side of Quantify Force. It was a fight up and down the rift, but a fight that very much has gone in favor of Gracelight Ruby.
Yeah, I mean, I've just seen 1.4k in the lead now. After that, the shutdown was huge to go over to the Syndra, I think it did. And yeah, it kind of just stemmed from that weird river fight, really, that you had Big Boy Stevo kind of caught out there. He was going for a gank, and good reactions from the mid laner of Gracelight Ruby to catch him out there as well. Goth Baddie, pretty strong as the Mundo at the moment now. He's going to be a bit stronger than the Ornn. And yeah, capitalize on that. It was a lovely sidestep when you saw the Mundo miss the Ornn dash, just dashed past him. It's pretty funny, but we got a bit of a challenge here.
Yeah, we're gonna get another one. Big Boy Stevo,
no.
That's a miss. That's a very big miss. Going on to Goth Baddies as well. That's not where you want my damage, my son. As Deadly Fish now taking a lot by himself. Goth Baddies will run, but that is Rift Herald seeded for now. Goth Baddies, he's juking. He is stepping left and right. Oh, he's juked them all. He's gone past. No way he gets out of this, right? No, there is not. And that is Rift Herald for a Dr. Mundo. And Big Boy Stevo goes in once again looking for Shadow Hopper. He's getting low. He's dead. And that's one already. Power Fruit will go down. You didn't need to fight this, Gracelight. And that is 4 dead. And Z-Red-X, he's going to want to make this an ace. And Sizer, he misses the W. And that's the auto. A solo kill. And that's the ace. Gracelight Ruby have left the map.
Oh man, it feels so bad when you're the ADC on the side of Gracelight Ruby, and then the enemy ADC comes out with an exhaust. It just like hampers your attempt totally, because you saw the ambush there coming out, and you saw in the chat there, well played, and it's a fair trade-off. They respect each other, but yeah, like you said, it was a map-wide ace again, and it's been the theme, hasn't it, across these 3 games. So Quantify Force bringing now the game back into their lead. And of course, they have got very tanky boys. It is Clash of the Titans in these fights. It's quite mad, some of the fights that are going on in that top lane. People are just like spamming abilities. I can't imagine what's happening on those cameras, because they are just spamming abilities to try and get that final kill. And both teams seem so low all the time. But maybe a bit of solace, maybe a bit of quiet and calmness before the storm again. But 17 kills in 14 minutes, yeah, it's a bit of a bloodbath at the moment. Next Drake in another minute, so we might as well have another team fight, maybe.
Yeah, why not? I mean, we've already had them. Press F to pay respects to Insecure. Damn, that is a rough one. Yep. Let's just have a look here, because that 14 minutes, 17 minutes is coming up. Power Fruit's going to have to be careful here, though. That is going to be the jungler dead. Oh, he does survive, actually, for a bit of time, though. Insize is going to have to get out there as Big Boy Stevo. He deals so much damage, and not only is that a kill, not only is that prio over Dragon, but that is an assist to Deadly Fish. And looking at the gold leads right now, oh, it's close. And Stronger's going to try and get one of himself. Landed onto D-Red-X, and Deadly Fish going to try and protect his AD carry. Cassandra in the backline. Inside's trying to find D-Rex, but he won't find anyone. Oh, no. He'll find a Jarvan. Still no one has died. And this is disaster for Gracelight Ruby. Stronger with some supportal combat. He wants that kill. He's happy with it. He is content. Z-Red-X comes in to... It doesn't even get the assist.
Although the bird.
No.
Yeah, he got him. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Got him.
Yeah, but first strike came through.
Even with all of that done, horror for Incisor as he looks as the gold lead, and his bot lane. It's 15 minutes, 2 minutes to go on this. This could be the last game. This is the decider. And right now, I think currently about. No, they're dead even.
I've just realized with that CS picked up, they are dead even right now. Something like that. Oh my god. Powerfruit putting down the Rift Herald. Is that for the macro reasons, or is that just to get Tristana that gold before Z-Red-X can? I don't even know anymore. But oh my god. Yeah,
you got to try and get some gold back in this game. You see the Jarvan or did go there off screen, but yeah, you just got to try and use that Rift Herald there and get some gold for your ADC. Get it back into the picture of this game because, yeah, it's starting to slip again. Kind of 1k difference at the moment, but this top lane battle is quite interesting.
Yeah, a really good extended trade there for Goth Baddies. Really using those Qs, that max health damage, just to be able to take down Styler quite well there. There's a lovely little pressure maybe they can apply. Maybe, you know, no TPs for both of these top laners, so they won't be able to help. They'll be locked in this 1-for-1 as it's 16 minutes, 15 seconds right now. As, you know, this next fight, if this lands, you know, this could decide the fate of who loses their name. Strongest hook goes wide. Shadowhopper has gone on by the side of Big Boy Stevo. Big Boy Stevo will be knocked out. He'll survive it as well. Insize has got to run as it is Cassandra who gets the double kill. That goal did not go to Kai'Sa. However, Braum picking up the numbers. It's close. I can't even calculate who's winning this one right now. But Insizer, he's going to try and go for the tower. Styler's so low. Powerfruit's going to have to get out of this one. Can he take down Styler? Yes, he can. It's 17 minutes right now. And it looks like the team Insizer, he is not going to lose his name. Deadly Fish, their team might have won the series, but it's 2-1 to Insizer, making sure to get that gold. Deadly Fish, if you want to keep your name, you're gonna have to throw the game.
Yeah, in favor of Insider, despite the lack of gold for Gracelight Ruby overall, and Quantify taking the lead at the moment. That, yeah, it's an interesting battle between the two ADCs, but I mean, yeah, the jungle has kind of been where this game has been at, unfortunately, and the objectives have been taken. You know, Big Boy Stevo, they've let the Jarvan through. They banned it once, they took it for a different game, and they've given it this time, and you can see why it shouldn't be given to Big Boy Stevo, because he's just so versatile with it. He knows the limits of the champion, he knows when to dash in, and can take down the enemy team. So, yeah, kudos to Quantify Force. Doing really well here, and in terms of Gracelight Ruby, you know, they've just got to try and be more objective now. So they've got those two turrets in the mid and bot lane that are close to being taken down, so get the next Rift Herald, get those turrets, and then maybe you can still get back into this game.
They're gonna try doing that right now. This Rift Herald, it is about 1.5 minutes from despawning, so they're gonna start it up, try and make sure they can crack maybe that top tier one, maybe that bot tier one. We'll see what they try and do with it, but a TP coming in from Cassandra already. Not sure about that one, but will just dissuade the team of Gracelight Ruby from getting any ideas about fighting, and that's Rift Herald secured, Smid.
Yeah, Quantify Force, they probably don't need, I mean, they will use Rift Herald, obviously, but the
Shadowhopper caught out by herself. The cask will buy some time. Z-Red-X uses the killer instinct, and Deadly Fish will go down himself. Z-Red-X, it's tough for him to do damage here. The two TPs from the top laners will just stare at each other menacingly. Stronger, what are you doing? There is no one there. There is no one to follow you up. And that's left the team in a 3v4 right now. A lovely Ornhorn by Styler. And now Powerfruit is going to have to run. Insizer, don't walk into that as they go onto Powerfruit instead. Incisor's mispositioning very much saved. But another win going towards Quantify Force. They look unstoppable right now. They look like the team that hasn't lost a series so far in this tournament.
Yeah, it's so interesting because I don't know if anyone else watched the highlights of G2 against XL yesterday, but there are a lot of similarities in this final as well. And you can see that there's just so many almost moments of Gracelight Ruby.
Styler's dead. Continue, Schmid.
Yeah, cool, that's it, cool. Anyway, moving on. So, yeah, Quantify Force, you know, they're just sticking to the rule book, they're sticking to the book, and they're not doing anything crazy. They've got this lead now. They're just taking the picks and letting Gracelight Ruby make these mistakes.
Yeah, trying to take the vision, but Shadow Hopper will fall. You feel like maybe the mental is not there anymore. They're going to try and put up this last defense inside, trying to do the damage on the outside. Actually will take down Big Boy Stevo. Zero-X just cannot take down Goth Baddies, and they actually, do take him down, but that's a spent of very low health bars. Here comes Tristana with the triple kill. Deadly Fish will be the one to survive. Corpses litter the mid lane Schmid as it's a 4 for 3. Styler comes here as well. Power Fruit, you're gone, buddy. And another corpse is added to the graveyard of mid lane Schmid. Just a lot of fighting.
I don't think Power Fruit was like, nah, come on, we need to balance this team fight way more. We can't be surely winning that team fight. So goes for a brawl under the turret, but hey ho. It started kind of badly for Gracelight Ruby, and when the Syndra was taken down by herself. But it was a great turnaround, to be fair, because I think they got a 3-man body slam from the Gragas, and the Tristana was able to really flex what Tristana does best and, get the resets in, get those kills. And 7-4 on a Tristana. So, hey, in terms of that bet, gold difference, there's 2.5k difference. The Tristana has hit the 10k mark already. Just matching the Jarvan, I should add, by the way, who has that same amount of gold total. Who has got 2 full items and is almost onto his 3rd. So he will fall off, in probably the next 5 minutes of gameplay in terms of he'll get another item and then he's either got to go tanky or continue to be squishy and be taken down very easily. So Drake is up here though, and Quantify Force, they've just got to be calm, measured, and maybe Gracelight Ruby can try and find a pick here.
Yeah, is this the last defense? Is this the one they fight? Styler using the Ornhorn, maybe trying to turn it back onto them. Power Fruit is just deleted off the face of the rift. Wow, what a voice crack as Shadow Hopper looks to go next. The killer instinct used by Zred-X. I think we know how this one is going, folks. That is right, Division. 10-0 is what Quantify are looking to do right now, getting an undefeated split on the cards. This has rarely happened in VL. We might be witnessing it right here. A team only 2 splits older, Quantify. They only played last split and this one, and they are looking to put their mark in the history of VL.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the slickness coming through, and there's no panic. It's kind of weird, isn't it? That I don't know about you, but sometimes you can kind of see the mentality of the players just on the champions, like movement and like the way they pull off the abilities, and there's just no panic buttons. There's no big emergency button on the side of Quantify at all, because Gracelight Ruby are kind of going for these desperate plays like they are now.
Big boy Stevo, he wants Power Fruit. He wants to flex on the jungler that he has gapped for the past 3 games. That felt personal. Just get over here. Give me those kills. 12, 2, and 12. How can you look to beat this? And yeah, congrats to Quantify. Just great to see a new org come through and make a mark on VL. So that is amazing. Game's still not over, but Shmida is getting increasingly difficult with every step. Styler also level 14 as well, which is insult to injury.
Yeah, level 14 compared to a level 11 ADC on the enemy team. So yeah, I mean, just like I said, consistency. Only 130 farm, and he's level 14, so it's quite interesting. So, I mean, staying in lane, I think, has just been what he's done, really. Able to stick around and get the XP, maybe just not quite knowing the power of your own mallet there, but nonetheless, a bit of a kind of mini support combat, I suppose, but to nothing. Just saying hello in the bush.
Wards traded.
Yeah, wards traded. A bit of a hello there from the other side, and Quantify, Gracelight Ruby, I think, yeah, they've got to be already booking that Uber ready for 10 minutes in, because it's not looking good so far, and they've got to get their ride home, because now, finally, the last piece in the puzzle for Quantify was that outer bot lane turret, and this is where they apply their pressure and just push in They've got the damage, they've got the tankiness, and there's nothing really that Gracelight Ruby can do.
Yeah, they're stacking here. They're looking for just any poke that they can get, but Gold Lead is just mounting further and further. They're already, the chunk of their health bar is already missing. I haven't seen them within, 2 screens of them. Power Fruit's almost dead.
Ooh.
Power Fruit's just straight up dead. Big Boy Stevo will get combo, but Cassandra just ults in. And wow, the combo on Shadow Hopper sets it up for Z-Red-X. And that is the 4K that might seal the fate of Gracelight Ruby. A perfect series, a perfect tournament for Quantify. They have gone 10-0. They're on the Nexus Terrors. 3-0 in the final game to wrap it up. Goth Baddies will do his best. He's a Mundo, but he's not invincible. Your champions of Division 3, Quantify Force. Take the trophy, take the series. And wow, that was anything but close. That was a dominant display. And congratulations to all the Quantify Force team there, Schmid.
Yeah, I mean, they really saved the victory parade for last, didn't they? Because that last game was just, that was surgery. That was League of Legends surgery at its finest, like a fine tooth comb. Did not miss any stops. There was maybe one slip up where Big Boy Stevo did get a bit too big for his boots and died to the enemy team, but he collected himself, he got back in it, and there was no turning back. Indeed, they should have been playing sound because it was a one-way train in this game, and there was no way for Gracelight Ruby to even come back in. There were just too many, unfortunately, kind of, they call it unforced errors, as it were, in tennis, and there were unforced errors here, which simply Quantify Force just reacted to rather than making the plays and kind of gave Game 3 on a plate. So, yeah, kudos to Quantify Force for smashing it. And Gracelight Ruby, yeah, unfortunately, just outmatched in every sense.
We're about to have an interview, but I've just looked to the people in the waiting room, so we'll just get straight over.
Being interviewed at this point with that many people.
I think I've given it away with the title of it. We're gonna get all the Quantify Force people in here right now. I feel very intimidated, but regardless, we're gonna get Shin in here as well. It's a party right here. To all of the members of Quantify Force, congratulations! You are the Valorant League Division 3 champions. How does it feel? Woo! And that's the interview. Thank you for joining us.
That's why you do that every week.
Sums it up.
Dominant game. A really different character from last week. That really close game against 50-50 and just a dominant finals. How were you able to pull it off? We'll send this over to we'll send this over to Stevo. That jungle performance, amazing. What changed between those two games?
I think only one thing changed between the two games, right? It was Styler over Fox.
Yeah.
Complete top cap.
Yeah, very much came through. Yeah, please continue.
Yeah. No, that's basically it. It's just that's the only thing that changed, right, between our team. So that must be the only thing.
Yeah, really. Yeah. Oh, yes, please, Schmidt.
No, go on. Yeah, I was just gonna. Yeah, it was interesting, kind of the how the bans and draft kind of changed. Like Kaiser was obviously ever present, wasn't she, throughout whether they picked it or you picked it. And didn't quite, wasn't really needed in the first game, I suppose, with the Wukong. But, is that always your kind of, going into this one? Because I saw you guys, like I said, who was it, Samurai? It was against, was it Icefire? No. There was a game kind of about a month ago where you guys...
Mystics.
Oh, Mystics, yeah. Where you bit on edge. So this was the first one I saw you since then. So what's kind of been your path over the game, because I said that it's hard to kind of pick up where you go wrong when you're just winning all the time. So, how do you go into this one kind of, to make sure you win that streak?
Well, we had a big VOD review of the best of 5 after we nearly lost it. I think we had probably like for 4 hours or so just looking at them before the games. So a big VOD review, we all learned from it, I think. Everyone's seen our mistakes, and I think we
Yeah.
come out playing a lot smoother, a lot less aggressive, just taking the free things we take and not trying to take too much and throwing the game.
Yeah, and obviously first time Jarvan, right? So well done.
Yeah.
Just to ask maybe, because it is a really impressive thing to go undefeated throughout the entire split. Maybe I want to throw this to the coach, maybe ZRedX, you want to get into this as well. Fantastic performance on that ADC.
Thank you.
What do you think has made the team so consistent and just managing to secure wins every week, being so consistent while still just so strong and eventually just undefeatable in series?
Personally, it is a perfect split for me, but minus 2 games because I only joined on the third game. But overall, I think that we had better understanding of just listening to the coaches and just having discussion of what we want and what can we do and what we don't want to do. Obviously, we made a lot of mistakes, but we did learn from them. We didn't just throw it away and forget about it. We always go back and make sure that we don't make the mistakes again.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all about. It's I think I can't remember which league player it was, but I think it was that Excel documentary or something. It was it's only winning or learning, isn't it? So yeah, I mean, it was just. I think it was a bit of a crazy series, right? Though I think I don't think the crazy fights where there was nothing on that. I think you guys just were just more succinct at which target to go for. Would you agree with that in the kind of the crowd clown fiestas team fights where you guys just kind of came out on top most of the time?
Yeah, we did have better communication. We had clear communications throughout the games, and so we always know what we want to do and what we are doing. Basically, I think it's all about communicating, because the difference is I feel like Gracelight wasn't as well communicated as we did.
Yeah,
and we were just on the same page and made sure that we are.
Yeah.
Well, we are going to, you are now the Div 3 champions. Congratulations. You are now at least having to be set your sights to Div 2. And yeah, what is the plan for Quantify Force? Are you guys wanting to stick together? Is there anything, Big Boy Steve-O, I know you manage CWL, so you've got a whole, you're very busy, man. So what's the plan for you, your lives in Quantify and the lives in Quantify Force? Is there anything particularly we could expect from you in the future?
Ivy, no, you're selling me short. I'm also Quantify manager, so.
Oh, sorry, did not mean to sell you short there, Steve.
Yeah. I believe there's a big rank diff in the team, so there's going to be a bit of a splitting apart and probably about 2 or 3 new teams between us. That's because I think I'm separately with the coaches going to go to a different team. I'm not 100% sure what everyone else is doing, but there is going to be a Force team with at least some of these players in it.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can go back to back. I'm looking at cheering them on.
It's like Leicester winning the league, isn't it? You're just gonna get sold off now, aren't you? Go to other clubs. Yeah.
We're going to Leicester V1 and Leicester V2. We're still staying in Quantify still.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
So it is the last stream of the split. It has been a very long. Oh, he just left. Okay.
Bye.
Bye. It was nice seeing you. It is the last stream of the split. We are officially going into the off season that's already been starting, picking up new players for next season. But it has been a truly amazing thing to watch you guys in your journey. Some amazing games you've given us, from Mystics to this one and to the game last week. You have been content machines, and we thank you so much as well for bringing over the fans. So thank you so much. So to Iced, Luke, Schmid, Stevo, Styler, and ZRedX, it has been an absolute pleasure for the interview, and the floor is all yours to shout out who you want to shout out and to say what you want to say.
Thank you. Personally, I would like to shout out my old teammate from Fireflies, specifically Elise Spider, or aka Josh. and Poro for giving me all the supports throughout the split. Like they have been hyping out, they've been there all the fucking time. I would like to shout out our coaches. Obviously, we wouldn't be able to do it without them, and the players. Obviously, it has been an honor serving with you. And I would like to shout out my friend Lauren, who has been watching me since I started and always giving me the thumbs up and the support.
That is lovely. Would
Nice.
anyone else like to add to that?
Yeah, I just shout at everyone. I get too much credit sometimes for stealing loads of kills. I think everyone did a lot of work. Everyone plays with me, especially Cass in the mid lane, rotating everything, giving all his CS up so he can come rotate to my int fights. I think Fish were playing 2 lanes. Even Davey we had at one point playing. We had Fork sub in. Everyone did a good job. I think everyone had a good attitude. Everyone played very well.
Yeah, it was an all-round, it was a full team performance for sure.
Well, if that is the shout outs and everything concluded?
I'll shout out Shipex. He's playing in CWL currently, I believe, unless he's lost already.
What's that? I don't know what that is.
He's playing in a non-specified different league.
And we also, have to give a huge shout out to the VL staff for being able to make all this happen, to answer all the tickets, no matter how long, no matter how early in the morning. Sorry, Z-Redex, do you want to say something?
I just wanted to add that I personally would like to thank Shipex, especially. He is an ADC main. He is a high-level ADC main, and he did help me a lot as a player in general. So thank you, Shipex. I'll see you in chat.
I'll just say shout out 50/50. I was on their team until not long ago, and I joined Quantify. And shout out Fox because he really didn't have to put me on this team, but he fought for it. So appreciate it, and hopefully I made him proud.
I think you certainly did, Styler. Played very well. And thank you to all of you. Congratulations. Can't wait to see. I'll be taking this into my memory, and God help me if I have to cast another split. But if I do, I'll make sure to have the history and to have you guys players etched into my mind, into my casts, and obviously into the history of Valence League winning the second split. Congrats to all of you, and take a good long rest because you've deserved it.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice job, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for casting.
No worries.
No worries.
Now clear her off. Chew.
Okay.
Chew. Get out of here.
Bye.
Bye. And Scram, yeah. And thank you once again to the lovely people in chat who have accompanied with us all the way. It is lovely just having people here, being our tricasters, helping us. You really make this make VL what it is. You make VL just keep on going and be a place that we love. It's very tough for a lot of leagues, especially amateur leagues, to get casts, to get kind of talent here and get the viewers on. So you guys really make this kind of stuff possible. So thank you very much. And to Schmitty, my lovely man, my lovely co-caster, thank you for ending this on a high. Is there anything you'd like to say, or
Go fuck yourself.
Thank you very much.
No, that was good. Yeah, no, it was brilliant. You know what? Weirdly, it was actually one of the more entertaining 3-0 series. Sometimes the first game was a bit of a whitewash, and second game, but it was entertaining to get there in the first place. So a brilliant series all around, and I was here and there for this Valence League this season, but obviously you can probably see that Azara is already on the ball with the next season. This is what happens. Don't celebrate your win and your championship, but you're on to the next one, and you got to test for it again. So coming up very soon. So thank you, Samurai, for leading the way and juggling everything with the casting the content as well in the stream. So I think everyone in the stream can probably give you a little MVP, and you were the real MVP for this stream. So nice one, man, and good job everyone around. Hopefully see you all for the next split.
Yeah, see you all for the next split. It is Samurai Cast, Schmitty, signing off for split 2, and go have a lovely Monday evening. And wherever we meet next, I'm sure we'll be accompanied by some great League of Legends here at the Valence League. Have a lovely night, guys. Oh, just a... Oh.
All right. Okay. Yep. Cool.